there was a crazy demand for Azure Data Factory developers, and this legacy will be continued by Fabric Data Factory. And you know what? Early birds will get the advantage of this. That is why I have created this 4 hours long Fabric Data Factory full course, which will cover everything from scratch, and you will build real-time scenario-based end-to-end dynamic data pipelines, including all the major activities in the Fabric Data Factory. Not only this, we will also learn about schedule triggers connected with your email account notifications. And finally, we will learn about CI/CD in Fabric to deploy all of your pipelines to different environments. This is your one-stop solution to gain strong hands-on with Fabric Data Factory and become an in-demand data engineer in 2025. So just hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends, and let's get started with this amazing video. So what's up my data fam? First of all, happy Sunday. I know you are already enjoying your Sunday, and now you have got another reason to enjoy your Sunday and make your Sunday fruitful, because now you have landed on my video. So first of all, today's topic is my personal favorite. Trust me. Why? Because we have already witnessed the success of Azure Data Factory in Azure Data Engineering Solutions. Yes, we know that. We have already witnessed that. So we all know that Fabric is the new tool in the world, and it will be productionized very soon. So you should be prepared, and you know that whenever we just get a new technology by Azure, it spreads up really quick. And trust me, bro, Fabric Data Factory will be one of those tools, or let's say one of those skills which will be in demand, which are already in demand, because Data Factory is already there. Okay, so you know like how important this will become. So now the thing is, Ansh Lamba, we have heard a lot about Azure Data Factory. Okay, yeah, I accept that. What is new in Fabric Data Factory, and who should watch this video? Like what is the agenda of today's video? Let me talk about that. So Fabric Data Factory video, this particular video is for everyone. Why? Let me just tell you. If you are a beginner, if you are a totally a beginner, you do not know anything about Azure Data Factory, anything, this video is for you, because I'm gonna start this video from scratch. Now, then, if you have some knowledge with Azure Data Factory, you have built some solutions, you have already built some pipelines, or if you are a pro, let's say you are a pro Azure Data Factory developer, still this video is for you. Fine. Because bro, Fabric Data Factory is not exactly same as Azure Data Factory. There are so many changes in UI, changes in activities, changes in configuration, changes in connectors, changes in link services, changes in data size, changes in parameterized pipelines, changes in orchestration. There are so many changes. Yeah, there are so many changes. Fundamentals, I would say, are still the same, but we have so many changes. So that is why I have prepared this video in such a way so that every single enthusiast, I would say enthusiast, every single enthusiast will feel that they are learning a lot. Even they're beginner, obviously they will be learning a lot. Even if you're a pro developer, you will be feeling that you are learning a lot. Trust me, because we gonna start from scratch and we gonna level up with the video, along with the video. Just trust me. And this video will be your one-stop solution for Fabric Data Factory. And as I have already mentioned, that Fabric Data Factory will be very much in demand, because we already know the power of Fabric, how powerful it is. It has already integrated everything. Don't worry, I will just talk about Fabric in detail, don't worry. But we already know, like, there are so many things in Fabric. What will be that technology which will be responsible for orchestration, orchestrating everything? Because at the end, we know that orchestration is important. development is important. We know that troubleshooting, debugging, everything is important. But at the end, orchestration is the most important thing because we know once we have built everything, now it's time to orchestrate it. Now it's time to schedule it. That time, this tool will be in use. So that is why this is the most important tool. Why? Even if you're a data analyst, you need to just orchestrate your activities through Data Factory. If you're a data engineer, obviously you will be using Data Factory. Even if you're a data scientist, you would need to use Data Factory because let's say your manager will say, hey, orchestrate these models, orchestrate your notebooks that you have built to just build your machine learning models. So Data Factory is the hottest topic, and I would say the most important technology tool in the whole Fabric solution. So that is why this is my most favorite topic that I'm going to discuss today. And trust me, this video will discuss Data Factory in detail. I know I've already created one video on Microsoft Fabric in which I have given an overview of Data Factory, like high level understanding, okay, high level explanation. But this video will discuss Data Factory in detail, and you're gonna learn so much. Trust me, trust me. This video is fun. So without wasting any time, let's discuss about the prerequisite. And as you all know, you just need excitement to learn Fabric Data Factory. That's it, because I will take care of everything, all the prerequisite knowledge, all the things. I will be taking care of that thing. You do not need to take care of that. So you just need excitement to learn Fabric Data Factory, then laptop or PC with stable internet connection, obviously, because I believe in a quote that says, learn by doing it. So we will not be just covering theory, right? No, we will be actually doing things. So obviously you cannot build solution on the mobile phones. Then you need laptop or PC. That's why I have just mentioned it. And obviously you want to crack your dream company, because trust me, bro, Fabric will come like this. Boom. You will see, like, everywhere there's a demand of Fabric, and Fabric will just trust me, Fabric will just come like this. Boom. It will just enter in the market like this. Boom. And then you will see, hey, companies are looking for Fabric developers, companies are looking for this. And at that time, demand will be really high, supply will be really low, because people are not focusing on Fabric right now. They are just focusing on like different tools and technology that are already in hype. Okay, so this is the time that you can invest in your future. Okay, so just try to learn the skill, and obviously it will help you a lot. Okay, perfect. So now we know that our prerequisites are already done, because I know if you are my data, hey, bro, if you have not subscribed to the channel, just subscribe it right now. What are you waiting for, man? What are you waiting for? When I just see my subscribed versus non-subscribed ratio, I feel shocked. Why people are not subscribing the channel? Just hit on subscribe button right now. Just hit that subscribe button right now, and just drop a comment on the video, so that newcomers will feel that okay, this video is for them. So you are indirectly helping them to find the right video for them. Okay, and if you already in my data fam, I know you will comment. You will just drop a lovely comment for me. So just drop it right now, and obviously I feel happy whenever I see the comments. Okay, and obviously it helps others as well, because whenever a newcomer lands on a video, they just, the person will just check the comments first, like how is the video. So you should just tell them like, okay, this video is for you. You can definitely check it. A kind of review you can just drop in the comment. It will help others. Okay, okay. So let's discuss one question, or let's say our introduction chapter. What is Fabric? So basically, Microsoft Fabric. What is Microsoft Fabric? So basically, let me just make it very simple. I know you have heard about Microsoft Fabric a lot, and now I know you want the simplest explanation or simplest definition of Microsoft Fabric, so that you can actually understand what is this? What is Microsoft Fabric? Because whenever you will ask yourself like what is Microsoft Fabric, or anyone else asks you this question like what is Microsoft Fabric, you would have like crystal clear definition. Okay, this is Microsoft Fabric. So let me just talk about Microsoft Fabric. The simplest definition so that you can actually understand it. So basically, this hottest topic, this one, Microsoft Fabric, is basically an end-to-end unified data solution. That's it. That's it. Let me just write it for you. So Microsoft Fabric is an end-to-end, end-to-end unified data solution. Let me just explain this. This is the simplest definition. Okay. Now, why end-to-end? Let's first focus on this one. Why end-to-end? Why end-to-end? Because you can perform everything from scratch and you can productionize it or you can deploy it using Microsoft Fabric. That is why it is an end-to-end data solution. What do I mean? Let's say you are a data analyst, okay? You are building your Power BI reports, or let's say Power BI semantic models, which is just a data model. Or you are a data scientist, you are using machine learning models. Or let's say you are a DBA, you are building databases. Or let's say you are a data engineer and you are using these three technologies: data factory, data engineering, and data warehouse. Okay. So everything you are doing, you can easily develop it and you can deploy it as well. So Ansh Lamba, will we use Azure DevOps in Fabric as well, because we use Azure DevOps in other Azure solutions? So the answer is yes or no. Because the thing is, we can use Azure DevOps, not a big deal, we can. But when we have Fabric, we have a very special thing, very special thing. What is that? It is called, it is called deployment pipelines. So we do not actually need to use Azure DevOps because we have deployment pipelines built in Fabric, with the help of which we can easily deploy our objects to different environment like this. And don't worry, I'm not just talking about it. I will actually show you how to deploy your objects at the end of the video, where I'll be just deploying all my pipelines to, let's say, different environment, test or prod. So it is an end-to-end solution. Now, what does this unified mean? What is this unified solution? So Fabric is a unified data solution. That means all the roles within data space, let's say data analyst, data scientist, or let's say data engineer, DBA, BI developer, anyone. Fabric is the solution for everyone. How? So if you are a data analyst, okay, we have Power BI. If you are a DBA, we have databases. If you're a data scientist, we have data science. If you want to stream your data, we have real-time intelligence. If you want to build pipelines, we have Data Factory. If you want to use PySpark code and build like high performance data ingestion tools and data transformation models, we have data engineering. If you want to build scalable data warehouses, we have Fabric Data Warehouse. We have everything. That is why it is called unified. Now, the best thing about unified data solution is you do not need to worry about connections between them because they are integrated, they are unified. You do not need to worry. Hey, so let me just relate it with the real-time scenario that we currently use. So let's say you are using Azure. So for pipelines, you can use Azure Data Factory. For machine learning models, you can use Azure MLOps. Okay. For let's say DBAs, you can use Azure SQL database. So they are like different resources. You need to worry about the integrations between them. You need to worry about networking. But here, everything is unified. Everything is gathered around the new solution, which is Fabric. So everything is available under one hood, which is Fabric. So that is why it is end-to-end and unified data solution. That's it. This is the definition. This is your Microsoft Fabric. And today, what we gonna focus? Before that, we will first focus on welcoming our new members. So welcome. So these are my verified data family members, and welcome all and love you a lot who are just supporting my hard work. So the thing is, obviously you can also join the channel. Don't worry, I will just tell you how you can just become a verified data family member of this channel, because these are those people who actually value my hard work, who actually do support me. Because I know the market for data engineering is really like, I don't want to comment on that, but we know the reality. Like, people are charging thousands of bucks to actually teach you something which is of, I would say, no value. Trust me. So if someone is just putting so much of efforts, if someone is just putting so much of time to create high quality content, and obviously it is available for free, but they do value my work, they want me to continue building these videos, so they are supporting my hard work, they are supporting my channel. So if you also want to support this channel, support me, support my hard work, and if you want me to continue creating the videos that I do create in the world of data engineering, then you can also join the channel. I will just show you, don't worry. So first of all, welcome, and love you a lot for supporting me, supporting my channel. And yes, happy learning. So let me just show you how you can also join the channel. So this is the channel, and you have a button called join. Simply click on it, and then you can just join this channel and can become a verified data family member of this channel. And by joining this channel, you mean that you want to support my hard work and you want me to continue creating more and more videos in the world of data engineering. And yes, so I'm just waiting for you to join this channel, and let me welcome you in the next video. Okay, so now let's talk about Fabric Data Factory. Before creating anything, before directly jumping onto Microsoft Fabric, first of all, you should have the knowledge about what is Fabric Data Factory. What is this tool? What is this technology? What it does? Your all the your all the questions will have the answers in just a few seconds. Let me just tell you what is Fabric Data Factory. So basically, this tool, this tool is the most important tool, as we all know. But why? Because Fabric Data Factory is your ETL slash ELT solution in Fabric. Okay, ETL slash ELT solution, that means extract, transform, load, or extract, load, transform. This all depends upon the solution, or let's say design, that we have for our project. If we want to just extract the data and transform it and then load the data, we can do it. If we just want to first extract and load the data, then we want to transform it, we can do it. So it is your one-stop solution for all the ETL slash ELT workloads. Okay, okay. Did you get everything? Like, all the understanding? No, I know that. So this is just the very high level overview. So what it does, like, from the layman language, what it does, basically, it will just move your data. Yeah, it will simply move your data from one place to another. Simple. So let's say you have a data source. Okay, let's say you have a data source, and this is your data destination. Data destination. It will simply, it will simply, let's say this is your data. Okay, here, this will simply take your data, and it will just push this data or write this data or move this data to the destination. This is this is the task that it performs. Yes, I know this looks really simple, but the thing is, what do you think? Like, moving data from one place to another is very easy. It's really easy. Do you really think so? So let's say this data source is not actually just one data source. Let's say you have APIs. Okay, you have, let's say, SQL databases. Let's say you have some files. Let's say you have some IoT data, that is messages or sensors data. So it can handle all the things. And trust me, bro, handling all these things is not an easy task, but it is an easy task in Data Factory. How? Because it has something called as, bro, I'm assuming that you are taking notes. Okay. So it does that using connectors. Using connectors. So this is the thing that makes your life easy, because it says you do not need to worry about APIs, you do not need to worry about files, you do not need to worry about IoT, you do not need to worry about SQL databases. Why? Because I will provide you something called as connectors, and connectors will be like, it will be having everything. You just need to configure it. That's it. Let's say you want to pull data from API. So you do not need to build connection from scratch. No, everything will be there. You just need to configure it. What you need to configure it? Obviously, if you're just pulling the data from APIs, you need to provide the URL. You need to provide the endpoint. You need to provide the API key if it is required. If it is not, then you do not need to worry about that thing as well. So everything is there. You just need to configure it. Then let's say you need to pull the files. You do not need to build the connection from scratch. No, everything is there. You just need to configure what is the connection, because obviously if you're just using a connector, you need a connection, right? Okay, simple. Connectors make your life easy. So in order to connect to these sources, we use connectors. Okay, and connectors use something called as connections. Okay, it uses connections. So let's say you want to connect to API, you need a connection. Let's say you want to connect your database with a data lake, you need a connection. If you want to just connect your data factory with SQL database, you need a connection. So for every source or for every destination, you need a connection. Make sense? Because only then you will be able to read the data, and only then you will be able to write the data. So let's say you want to write your data to a SQL database. You need a connection for that. Yes, you need a connection. Let's say you want to write your data to a lakehouse that you will be using in Fabric. What is a lakehouse? Don't worry, I will just tell you. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Lakehouse is not a fancy thing. It is a very common thing nowadays, so don't worry. Let's say you want to just write your data lakehouse, and then you just want to write your data to a data lake. Okay, so for all these things, you need something called as connections. Sorted? Sorted. Okay, so it requires connections. That's it. And within the connections, it uses something called as datasets. Why I'm explaining everything? Because we'll be using these things. So I'm just creating your fundamental base ready. That is why I'm saying, like, just take notes. Okay. So within the connections, we use such as something called as datasets. Why we need to use datasets? So let's say you have built connection with the SQL database. Make sense? Okay. Just tell me one thing. You want to load the data from one table. Okay. You just want to read data from one table. Who will provide that information that you need to read table from XYZ table? Who will provide that information? That information will be provided by datasets. Datasets is just like your real data that you want to pull from your connection. Connection will be made with the whole database, and dataset is your real data that you want to pull. Make sense? Okay, simple. Same thing. You want to store your data to a data lake, but inside which container? Inside which folder? Inside which file? So all that information will be stored in the data set. Simple? Simple. I know it is really, really simple. So this stores information in data sets. This is a very, very, very basic understanding. I hope you are understanding everything. So this is the, you can say, architecture of data factory, like how it performs everything. And obviously we have so cool features within data factory, such as we can perform anything. We can perform iterations, we can perform if conditions, we can perform switch activities, we can perform a variable activities, we can do like almost everything. Don't worry, I will just tell you each and everything inside this video. Don't worry. Then let's say if we want to transform our data, how we can just transform the data? Do we have anything? Yes, we have something called as data flows. And now we have two kinds of data flows, Gen 1 and Gen 2. Okay. In Fabric Data Factory, we recommend using Gen 2 because those are easy to use and they are really, really powerful. And obviously, if you want to use Gen 1, it is there. Okay. I will just tell you about that as well, bro. Don't worry. Then, if you want to just transform your data using Spark notebooks, right? We have something called, called as notebook activities, with the help of which you can actually perform your transformation using Spark code. Everything is there, bro. Everything is there. So this is your Fabric Data Factory. That is why it is a kind of revolutionary tool that every organization is looking for. And everything will be done with the help of low no code. That is the best thing. That doesn't mean that you should note that you should not know code. Okay. Because we'll be using expression builders, we will be using so many things, so you should have some knowledge of code. But don't worry, that doesn't mean that you need to become a pro coder. No, you just need to be someone who can write code in Fabric Data Factory. That is why it is called no slash low code. So you should know how to write that low code. Okay, and don't worry, I will just tell you how you can just write that low code in this video. Okay, I hope now everything is sorted. Now, without wasting any time, let's create a free Fabric account. So basically, I have just got so many comments where people were unable to create the Fabric account. So basically, bro, the thing is, there are so many ways to create Fabric account. You can definitely just try a few things, and maybe some are just facing issue. I don't know the exact issue they are facing. So if you already know the solution for those issues, or if you already know like how to debug it, I would highly encourage you to just drop a comment and how to just um troubleshoot that issue. Only one or two people can just do that. Or if you are facing any issues, I would recommend to just use Telegram group that I have created for the doubts. I don't know like why, like I don't want to talk about that. So I would highly recommend to just drop your issues, drop your errors in the dedicated Telegram group. If you do not know where if you do not know how to be a member of that group, you can just click on the link in the description and you can simply click on that group and you will be added, and you can ask your questions there, bro. That is the place to ask questions. That is the place to discuss about the errors, right? Right? Make sense? Common sense, bro. You should just post your doubts at the right place, right? So just post your questions. People can help you out who are already like facing these issues and they have already debugged it. So the thing is, the approach that I will be following to create Fabric account is, I will first create a free Azure account. Okay. And from that Azure account, I will create a free Entra account and I will use that account to create the Fabric account. Why? Because we need to use an organization's email ID. Okay. Then only you can just create your free trial. Now, one thing is, if your Entra ID or Entra account is not, I think, 90 days old, then you, I think, cannot create Fabric capacity. I was just reading one message in the group. I think this is the solution for it. Your Entra ID should be 90 days old, but I don't think so that that is completely true. You can just try following the step that I'm showing you right now, and you can just try creating your free Fabric capacity. If you are successful creating that Fabric capacity, it is fine. If not, I have one workaround for it. So instead of creating Azure account, okay, obviously you can just create a free Azure account, it is fine. But instead of creating your Entra account within the Azure, what you can do, you can just listen to me carefully. You can create a free Microsoft D365 account. Microsoft D365 account. You can just watch any video like how to create free Microsoft D365 account, because when you create that free account, you also get the tenant as on.microsoft.com, and then you can just use that email account to create your Fabric capacity, and then you can just try creating that Microsoft Fabric capacity through that approach as well. So that is up to you how you need to just do that. Okay, so you can just try that. But what I'll be just doing here, I will just create a free Fabric account from Azure. Okay, if it works for you, it is fine. It is fine. It doesn't work for you, just drop your error message in the group. Someone can help you if they have already debugged the issue. If not, you can just try creating a free Microsoft D365 account, and then you can just try creating your free trial capacity, bro. Okay, sorted. Finally. Okay, so let me just show you how we can just create our free Azure account, because free Azure account will be required, because I will just tell you end-to-end solutions where I'll be pulling the data from the data lake. So it will be really fun. So let's create our free Azure account right now. So in order to create your free Azure account, you simply need to go to incognito mode. And by the way, I will always recommend you to just opening these accounts or these links in the incognito mode, because if you just open these links in your default browser or default tabs, it sometimes uses the cached data, and then you can see some errors. So always try to open these links or these things in incognito mode, then you can easily create your account. Okay, makes sense? Okay, so I will simply say Azure free account account. Okay, then simply click on the first link, and then you will just land on this page. Then you can simply click on try Azure for free. You can obviously go with pay as you go if you want to just learn more and more things, and if you do not need to worry about, hey, my 30 days free trial is over, blah blah blah. And like, I'm not encouraging you to just go with pay as you go, but if you are a dedicated learner, if you want to just invest some amount on your learning, you can definitely go with pay as you go, bro. And let me be very honest with you, bro, if you are serious about your future and if you want to just learn solutions, and if you have already spent, I think, I don't know how much of money on your schooling, on your universities, and I know those knowledge is like, right now is like useless, right, for you. So why do you spend that amount on that, on the universities, on schools? So if you have already spent that amount, you know that you can just spend a little amount on the skills that are relevant for your career, relevant to your field, relevant to your domain, relevant to your future. It's all up to you. I'm not encouraging anyone to just go with pay as you go. I'm just telling you, because I get so many comments, hey, my 30 days free trial is over, what should I do? So I just tell them like, okay, you can just try creating another free account. Okay, then they say, hey, my phone number is not verified, this, bro. If you are really dedicated to just learn something, I would suggest that just go with pay as you go, bro. Just go with pay as you go. Like, you are just learning the skills which are providing you the best career, the best job. And if you are just feeling that, hey, I don't want to spend even one single buck on that thing, bro, that approach is not good. Trust me. So I'm not recommending, like, I'm not encouraging, but I'm recommending. Like, it's up to you, like how you want to prioritize your things, how you want to prioritize your career. That's it. This is not a sponsored video by Azure, but you are thinking like, I'm not just like sponsoring Azure. I am just recommending you, if your 30 days free trial is over, if you have already used all the mobile phones, phone numbers, everything, then I am just suggesting you, bro. Then only I'm suggesting you. Otherwise, it's all up to you, bro. I'm not just promoting anything. So I will simply recommend you to just try Azure for free. Yeah, what I do recommend, start with try Azure for free, then upskill, then upskill that account, because obviously then you would know a lot about Azure, and then like after 30 days you can just go with pay as you go. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. Okay, then try Azure for free. Then it will just open a sign up page. So here you just need to provide your Microsoft email account, or let's say Outlook account. If you do not have one, just click on create one, and once you create that account, you will see one web form where you just need to put your details, your name, your mobile number, your address, and all, blah blah blah. Once it is done, okay, I was also getting some comments, my phone number is not verified and it is not verifying it. So you can just try with maybe a different phone number, maybe your parents' mobile number. It's all up to you. Okay, so you can just try these things. Then at the end, once everything is done, you will see a sign up button here. Okay, you will see sign up button. Then you just need to click on it. And once you click on the sign up button, Then it will just ask you to provide your card details. Do not worry, it will not charge you anything. It is just for the confirmation that you are the one who will be using that particular Azure account, because it offers you $200, $200 to use their services within 30 days. So that is why it just confirms. And obviously, like, it's up to you if you want to just upgrade your account after 30 days. But if you do not upgrade your account, it will not charge you anything. All your resources will be nullified even if you do not delete those resources. But I would recommend just delete those resources, but it's up to you. It will not charge you anything. Okay, so once it is done, let's go inside the Azure account. So now, once you have created your Azure portal account, now it's time to actually go inside the Azure portal. So for that, you simply need to go to your incognito mode and any Google tab. So simply search portal.azure.com. This is the URL which will just take you to the Azure portal. So simply hit enter. Obviously, I have already put my credentials, so it will not ask me for any credentials, but in your case, it will ask you to provide the email ID and password and blah blah. Okay, so this is our home page of Azure portal. Do not need to worry, these are my recent resources. So simply let me just click on the favorite. Yeah, now it's fine. So in your case, this area can be different, because obviously these are the resources that we recently use. So do not need to worry about anything, and do not need to worry, we are not learning Azure, we are just using Azure so that we can just build end-to-end solution. So we will be building some resources in Azure as well. So what are those resources? So simple. First of all, we will create a resource group. What is a resource group? So basically, resource group is a folder in which we store our all the resources. So we will create a resource group for Fabric Data Factory, and within that we will create a data lake, so that we can just pull data, migrate data, and do everything that we want to do. Okay, that will be a lot of fun, because then only you can just build end-to-end solution. Then only you will be, let's say, competitive enough to build Fabric Data Factory solutions, right? Because this is not a generic tutorial. This is really good tutorial with so much of hands-on and everything. Okay, so without wasting your time, just click on the search bar and just write resource group. Okay, then just click on this blue button and click on create. Obviously, I've created so many resource groups, so just ignore that. So this resource group will be my Fabric Data Factory. Okay, then simply click on review plus create, and then create. Perfect, it is created. Yeah, simply click on go to resource group. So this is your resource group. Okay, then within this resource group we will create something called as data lake. Okay, and in order to create a data lake, simply click on create. Then you will just see a marketplace where you can just use all the resources provided by Microsoft or any third-party providers. Let's see, this is one of the third-party providers, which is DeepSeek R1 with Open Web UI. Wow. And you can see the cost, $0.27 per user per 3 years. Yeah. So there are like so many resources. We will simply search storage account. Yeah, we do not have data lake here, we have storage account. Simply search storage account, and then you will see lots of options. Simply pick the one provided by Microsoft. Okay, then you just need to click on create. Then this is your resource group, which is already filled. Why? Because you created storage account from the Azure resource group. Okay, then storage account name. The thing is, you cannot pick the storage account name the same that I will be picking here, because it should be unique throughout the Azure network. So you just need to pick a unique name. So I will simply say Fabric, or let's say Fabric Data Factory Ansh. Yeah, it should be available. Yeah, Fabric Data Factory Ansh. So this is my data factory name. Region can be anything, and primary service, leave it blank. Then standard, then redundancy should be LRS. Why? Because LRS is the cheapest option, where Azure will create a replica of your data in the same data center. So locally redundant storage. Okay, click on next. Then you need to just check this box. Why? Because only then you will be able to create folders permanently within Azure Data Lake. And this will create your Azure Data Lake. Otherwise, it will create a blob storage for you. Okay, then you just need to click on review plus create. That's it. That's it. It will just take few seconds and click on create. Now it is deploying your resource. Okay, so it is in progress. It will hardly take few seconds here to deploy the storage account. It does not take much time. And let me just click on refresh. It is deployed. See, green tick, and this will be done here as well. Yeah, done. Now we can simply say go to resource, or you can simply go to home and then select the resource. It's your choice. I will simply click on go to resource. So this is my storage account. I know if this is your first time looking at any storage account, you will feel overwhelmed, but do not need to worry. Simply click on data storage, and within this you will see four services that we get under the storage account. One is containers, file shares, queues, tables. So this is our data lake containers, so we will be just storing everything within this. Okay, click on this and we will create a container. Okay, and we will name it as, let's say, raw, and then I will just click on create. And now as you can see, we have a container. So if you just click on this, obviously this is empty, but the reason we created that enable, or let's say check that box, enable hierarchical namespace, we can create directories within this container. That will be doing, don't worry. So this will be used later in the video, where we'll be just connecting our, let's say, Fabric Data Factory with Azure. So this will be used at that time. So now everything is done on the Azure side. Now let's create a free Azure, not free Azure account. Azure account is done. Free Fabric account, and how we can just do that, let me just show you. So now what we'll be doing, we will simply go to our Entra, Microsoft Entra, and we will just create a demo account, which is Microsoft Entra ID, this one. So if you cannot see it, you can simply go to these three bars and simply click on Microsoft Entra ID. And basically it is renamed from Microsoft Active Directory. So this will just show everything. And this is my email account, like everything is there. Okay, so primary domain is this one. Then what we need to do, we simply need to go to manage, and within this simply click on users. Okay, so Microsoft Entra ID is the place where you can actually manage all the users of your organization. And in this case, your your organization is your email account, is your directory. Okay, so as you can see, I have like so many accounts created here. So I created this account, which is Fabric DE. Don't worry, I will just tell you how you can just create your user, because this account will be used to use that Fabric service, or let's say Fabric trial. How? You can simply click on plus new user, click on create new user. Okay, then you can just provide any name, let's say fabric data. Let's say I just want to pick this username. Then display name will be the exactly same. Perfect. Now password, you can simply uncheck this box and you can just provide your own password, customized password here, and obviously remember that password. Then once everything is done, simply click on review plus create. Your account will be created. So it will simply come here. Let's say this is my account that I have already created, this Fabric DE. So you just need to click on this, or you can copy this email ID from here, copy to clipboard. That's it, because you just need that email account. That's it. There will be no confirmation or like no OTP will be there. Yes, they will ask you to just enable Microsoft Authenticator. That is a choice. Okay, that is also not mandatory. Simply copy this, and simply you need to go to app.fabric.microsoft.com. This one, app.fabric.microsoft.com, similar to portal.azure.com. It is app.fabric.microsoft.com. Hit enter. Then you will just land on this page. Simply just put your email account that you have just created here, and you can simply copy it from Azure. So simply copy it and then just put it here, then click on submit, and then you will actually land. Oh no, you just need to put the password as well. So obviously you can just put password, and then it will just ask you to reset your password, and you don't need to worry. You can just put your old password that you have just created in your Microsoft Entra ID. So once you put that password, then it will just ask you to just change your password. I'm just telling you before. So let me just type my password, and What was my password? Yeah. So let me just click. Oh man. So now let me just click on sign in. Yeah. So now, obviously, I told you change password. And then this is the option where you can just say ask later, because this is just a Microsoft Authenticator application. Okay, so now it will actually take you to the Fabric homepage, but not actually Fabric homepage. This will be just a Power BI homepage, and I will just tell you how you can just enable everything. Don't worry. So this is your Microsoft Fabric free license assigned. We have assigned you a Fabric free license for personal use. You are signed in and can create, explore your Power BI reports and all. Click OK. Then, then this is your homepage. This is your homepage. These are all these services that you can use within the Microsoft Fabric portal. So I know they are also just displaying the cards in the form of visualizations, and I personally love the UI. Let me just show you that how just these things can be explored in Microsoft Fabric. So simply click on this button, and then you will see something that will say sign out and free trial. Free trial, you need to click on the free trial, because then that means you are requesting a 60-day free trial to try a Microsoft Fabric capacity and Power BI paid features. Click on it. Then you will just need to activate it. Click on it. Then it will just say, hey, now you want to go to Fabric homepage, and then you will say yes. Then it will just take you to the Fabric homepage, which will be your new homepage. And this is your Microsoft Fabric homepage. This is your Microsoft Fabric homepage. That was not the homepage. That was just a kind of, you can say, a shortcut to the homepage. But now this is your Microsoft Fabric homepage, and this is your Fabric capacity. This is your Fabric capacity. So I hope that you are landed on this page, and if not, you already know the workaround that I have just talked about. Okay, so this is like Microsoft Fabric, all your data in one location, organize, collaborate, create. So all these services are here. All these services are here, like data science, data warehouse, data engineering, everything. Okay, and obviously you have something called read documentation, and read documentation, like documentation consists of, I think, 10,000 plus pages. So do not need to worry. I will just tell you everything here in this video. Then you have explore community tab as well. Okay. So it's all up to you. If you want to just go to documentation, you can just see the documentation, and Fabric documentation will just show everything. Like we have documentation for all the things, and I'm here to just tell you, don't worry. Then we have explore community as well. So if you just want to join the community, you can just join the community. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. I think they just put some vouchers as well in that particular community. They just post cool features. So it's all up to you. You can just go and explore. So let's say, first of all, let me just click on this app launcher, and then you will see that Power BI add-ins and explore all your applications. Then click on home button. Okay, obviously you will not see anything, but I will just show you all the icons here in this left pane. So let me just click on this toggle, which is Microsoft Fabric. Okay, so this is the button from where you can just see all the features under Microsoft Fabric. Before, people who are familiar with Power BI, they would only see the Power BI, but now they can see databases, data factory, industry solutions, real-time intelligence, data engineering, data science, data warehouse, like everything is there, bro, in this button. So if you want to just use anything, anything means anything, you can simply click on any of these solutions or any of these applications, and then you will see all the buttons in the left pane that I just showed you right now. And like, their UI is just amazing, man. Just amazing. So as I've just told you, just click on anyone, let's say data factory, or like you can just pick anyone, because you will see all the same features. Let's say data engineering, let's say. Okay, see, these are your buttons that are available now that were missing before. See, create, browse, one lake, monitor, real-time, workloads, workspaces, everything is there. And you will see like these buttons are common in all the other services, but this page will be different. This page will be subjective to the service that you have picked. So as you can see, recommended items to create Lakehouse notebook environment. So these are the things that are specific to your service or applications that you have picked. What is environment, notebook, lakehouse, like these are only specific to data engineering, not specific to data warehousing, not specific to data factory. So this is just a subjective tab that you will see a different UI every time that you will click on this. Okay, then if I just click on data factory, see, now you are seeing recommended items to create: data flow gen 2, data pipeline, data factory preview. Obviously they have just added this feature so that you can just manage your data factory solutions. Okay, so this is the tab. Now if I just click on create, first of all, this is the kind of marketplace, not a marketplace because everything is managed by Fabric, but these are all the things that I can create within Fabric. See, all these things can be created under Fabric workspace, or let's say Fabric portal. If I click on browse, obviously I do not have anything. So in the recent tab, it is all empty. So now if I just click on this one lake is the most important area. Don't worry, I will just talk about it in detail. So this is your one lake. Obviously it is empty because we do not have anything right now in this particular one lake catalog. So in this, you can see all the items listed. Don't worry, I will just talk about one lake in detail because one lake is the backbone of all the Fabric data storage solutions. Everything. So then I can just show you the monitor tab. Monitor tab will just monitor all the pipelines, all the objects, runs, failures, everything. Real time will just cover your all the real time data. If you are streaming the data, then you can simply say, okay, welcome to real time hub. It is similar to real time stream analytics. Then we have workloads, as we have already seen that these are the workloads available within our Fabric portal or Fabric, let's say capacity. Then workspaces, click on workspaces. Okay, let's create a workspace, because workspaces are like your folders in which you will just store everything. It is basically a container. Okay, so let me just click on new container. By the way, my workspace is the default workspace. So click on new workspace. Then you can just name it anything, like anything. And yeah, just anything. I will just simply say Ansh number workspace. What? Not available? Ah, okay. I think I have already created Anshlama workspace in my other video. Yeah, I think so. In the introductory video, I just created this workspace. So I can just pick any other workspace. Okay. So I can simply say Anshlama love workspace. By the way, love is my nickname. Yeah. Okay. So you can obviously do lots of things. You can just upload images as well in the workspace. And it's up to you. If you're working in an organization, they can just put a business image so that it will be easily identified. Okay, so I'm not uploading anything, so it's up to you. If you want to upload, you can. Then I can simply click on, let's say, apply. Yeah, let me just click on apply. So this will simply create a workspace for me, and this is your task flows. Do not need to worry what is task flow, forget about it. It is just the way of managing all the stuff within the workspace. So this was your like very brief overview of Fabric, very brief overview. So now I will just create a new workspace. Why? Because I was just playing with that particular workspace and now I just want to create a new workspace. So I will simply go to new workspace. Okay, and I will just create a new workspace and I can just name it as, let's say, um Fabric, yeah, Fabric Data Factory, and it will be, let's say, dev, because this is a dev environment. Okay, makes sense. Or let's say dev, let's put dev in the beginning, dev fabric df, because I will just show you how to deploy this pipeline, or let's say deploy the whole workspace at the end. Okay, simply click on apply and it's done. So this is your workspace, which is all empty. So in order to work with anything within the workspace, so you just need to click on plus new item. Only then you will be able to perform anything, right? Obviously, one thing is simply click on plus new item and just add anything. If I just click on it, you will see all the options available, all the things. If you are not sure like what you should pick and you are not familiar with anything, simply go to workloads, and this time you all know that what we'll be picking. We will simply pick Fabric Data Factory. Click on it, then it will just show you, hey, these are the item types such as data flow gen 2, data pipeline, Azure Data Factory, Apache Airflow job. Apache Airflow job is in preview. I think they're just collaborating with Apache Airflow, and they will just provide you perform Airflow capabilities, Airflow DAGs within Fabric Data Factory. This is super cool. You can easily write Airflow DAGs within Fabric. Wow, man. Then this is copy job. This is actually in preview. Copy job is like low no code ETL where it copy job. I will just tell you, don't worry. Mirroring database. Okay. So this is a quick overview of the Fabric Data Factory world in the Fabric space. Okay. Then obviously they have some templates ready for you, but I would say you should not use these templates, bro. You should just create everything from scratch. So this is your first thing. Okay. Then now you know, hey, I just need to explore these things. Obviously, you know that we will be building data pipelines. Okay. So let's create that. Okay. Simply go here and go to your workspace, click on plus new item. Okay. Now you would say, Ansh Lamba, here is your data pipeline, click on it. No. Why? No, no, no. Just tell me one thing. If you have observed anything throughout this video so far, this is my pipeline. Okay. Okay. This is my workspace. Okay. Where is our destination? Wow, good question. Where is our destination? You would say, Ansh Lamba, you just talked about one lake in the beginning, and you said like you will be talking about one lake later in the video. I think now is the time to talk about one lake. Yes, because you need one lake, obviously, because when you build any solution in cloud, you need to store the data somewhere. So you need the place to store the data, right? So now it's time to actually introduce you to one lake. What actually it is one lake? What actually it is? What actually is one lake? So let me just tell you what is one lake. So bro, Anshulamba, let's finally talk about this one lake. Where's the mic? Okay, here's the mic. So, bro, Anshulamba, let's finally talk about one lake, because one lake is the backbone of Fabric. If you do not know about this, now you know that one lake is the backbone of Fabric. Why? Because first of all, Anshulamba, don't be very much excited. Just tell us what is one lake first. Okay, basically, do you remember that we have just created data lake in Azure? That storage account, that is your one lake. What? Did they just rename it? Not really. Not really. So one lake is your logical data lake that that is built on top of ADLS Gen 2, which is your storage account that you have just created. Okay. So this is a kind of data lake that is built on top of ADLS Gen 2. Oh, it is very much simple. And like, why do we need to create one lake, and why are we not using storage accounts, and why we are just following this particular approach to store our data? So one lake fulfills two purposes. What are those? First of all, one copy of data. One copy of data. This is the purpose number one. Okay. What does it mean? So instead of having so many storage accounts, okay, so let's say I am just now showing you the tutorial for Fabric. So I created one storage account for Fabric. Let's say in an organization you are working on so many projects, right? So for one project you are using storage account 1, for second project you are using storage account 2, for third project you are using storage account 3. And it's not just about like so many projects. Within one project as well, you can just deal with multiple storage accounts, like one for, like, let's say for your bronze layer, second for silver layer, third for gold layer. So one lake says, hey, we do not need to do that. Why? Because we will be just creating only one data lake and one copy of data. These are two purposes. One is one copy of data, and second thing is one data lake. That's it. That's it. These are two purposes. So let's talk about this first. This one data lake. So it says we do not need to worry about so many storage accounts. We will just manage only one storage account, only one data lake, and that will be called as one lake. That will be called as one lake. One lake is also known as OneDrive for data, because whenever you create your tenant account is nothing but your like your Azure account. One lake will be there by default, so you do not need to explicitly create it. So when we created storage account, we created it explicitly, okay, but one lake is automatically created in Fabric. You already have one lake right now, but I will just tell you where it is. I will just tell you, wait. So one lake is just like one data lake. That's it. So let me show you. I have just created a beautiful slide so that you can actually understand. So let's say you are just managing so many storage accounts, okay. Let's say these are all the storage accounts you are managing, maybe within one project or maybe within so many projects. So this storage account is independent of this one, okay. This storage account is independent of these two. This storage account is independent of these three. This storage account is independent of these four. So basically every storage account is independent, okay. And it is a very common scenario that all these five storage accounts would be sharing, let's say, 10% of the data that will be common in all the storage accounts. This can be the scenario. This can be the scenario. Let's say you are just working on a project where you are just using sales data of the organization. So sales data will be in all those five storage accounts. I'm so sure. I'm not saying like all the data will be the same, no, but at least 10% of the data will be the same in all those five storage accounts. Now just tell me one thing. You are paying 5 times more for saving the same amount of like the same data. Why? 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 Now you would say, yeah, man, you are right. Yeah, I know. So that is why we have one lake. It says just create one copy of data. That's it. That's it. It says just create one copy of data because we will only be having one data lake. That's it. It is saying we do not have any other one lake. You are forced. You are forced to just deal with only one lake. Now, what is the advantage of it? So, bro, you would know that when we are just handling or managing so many storage accounts, let's say after 1 year, you are just working on so many projects. So now you need to manage at least, let's say, hundreds of storage accounts. It is so difficult to manage those things, right? But here it says no need to manage all these things. Only one lake is there. And on top of it, you do not need to manage the networking between these storage accounts. Okay, because there's only one lake, so there's no need to worry about managing the networking between the multiple storage accounts. Make sense? Make sense? Now I know your question. You would say, hey Anshlamba, everything is fine. Everything is fine. We have understood like one lake is nothing but just a data lake, and instead of managing so many data lakes, we just need to manage only one storage account, which is one data lake. That's it. This is your one lake. Yes, you are right. But what if you are building two projects? One is for finance and second one is for, let's say, accounts, or let's say for HR. Totally different let's say uh, areas. Okay, the data for both the projects are totally different, but they are just sharing, let's say, 10% of the data. Like the 10% of the data in both the projects are same. That's it. Now you will say, Ansh Lamba, we need to keep the isolated layers between the two storage accounts, between two data lakes. How will we be doing that? Or let's say this is my data. I have sales data. Okay, I have sales data sitting in the one lake, and here I have one workspace for HR. Second workspace is for finance. Let me just write it for you as well. So this is for finance, this is for HR. Now you will say, Ansh Lamba, we need to save this data, or let's say we need to see this data here. We need to see this data here in our workspace. In our workspace, how we can just do that? So that is our second feature, which is called one copy of data, which means it will say, hey bro, I have the data, I have the data, I have the data, I have the data. One lake has the data. It will say, hey bro, HR bro, you need data? HR will say, yes, I need to see this data in my workspace. Because obviously when you develop something, you need to see that data in front of your eyes, like sitting in the folders. It will say, hey, I will just do that. I will just do that. It will say, I will create one magical thing which will show you the data, which will show you the data there in your folder, but data will actually be sitting inside this one lake. Whoa, this is crazy, man. It is not crazy. This is called the concept of shortcuts. So what we can do with one lake, we can create shortcuts. We can create shortcuts. So what we can do, data is here. Okay, data is here in one lake. It will say data is only sitting here. If you want to see the data, create a shortcut on top of this sales data and you can see the data in your folders. It will behave like data is there. It will show that data is there, but that is not the actual data. That is just the shortcut. Data is actually sitting here in the one lake. That is the concept of one copy of the data and one data lake. These are the two purposes that one lake serves. That's it. That's it. Everything else is same. You can just put any data, videos, images, structured, semi-structured, unstructured data, anything. Anything. Structured data? How we can just put structured data? So if you just want to put structured data, it will automatically create a delta table on top of your semi-structured or let's say unstructured data. Not unstructured, like semi-structured data. Okay, so you can just put any data. It behaves exactly the same as your like normal data lake, but obviously it has cool features such as one data lake and one copy of data. That's it. Everything else is same. This is the concept of one lake, and I know now you know everything. Now you are good to start with. But Anshlamba, just show us where is our one lake. We want to see it. Okay, let me show you. If you just go to your Fabric workspace, okay, just go to your one lake catalog. This is your one lake. I know I can just see all these stuffs. Don't worry. So let me just click on favorite so that I also do not see anything. So you will be seeing the same thing, like blank thing. So for now, you do not have anything. Okay, you do not have anything. That is why you are not seeing anything. But this is your one lake. That means you already have one lake. Oh, okay. So now if you want to add data here, you need to do anything, let's say ingestion, or let's say you want to put some data here, then you just need to create some destinations. Okay, and the best way to create a destination, or let's say any kind of storage, or let's say any kind of object which holds some data, you can create a lakehouse. You can create a lakehouse. Lakehouse is nothing but, you can say, the modern term that we use in which we upload files. Okay, lake, if you know the concept of lakehouse, it is good. Otherwise I can just tell you in brief. So lakehouse is basically the data warehouse plus data lake. So what it does, you will simply put files in the data lake, which is your one lake. Okay, you can simply put the files like this. Like this is your file, and data warehouse is nothing but your logical data warehouse here. So what it will do, it will create a metadata layer on top of your files. Okay, like this, like this. It will create a logical metadata layer on top of your file, and it will behave like a table. It will behave like a table. That is why we have concepts such as external table, managed tables, everything. But Ansh Lamba, we will just get the capability of external table. How it will behave like data warehouse? Because data warehouse is like much more than external tables. Good question. So for that, we use something called as Delta Lake, or let's say Delta format, because when we enable Delta Lake or Delta format, our external tables behave exactly same as data warehouse tables. We can perform asset transactions, we can perform data versioning, we can perform all the same stuff that we perform in SQL database. That is why it is called data warehouse plus data lake. Okay, and by default, whenever we just create a table in our lakehouse, it automatically converts your data in the delta packet format. That is the best thing of Fabric. So you do not need to worry about anything. I know these concepts are like, if you are new to Fabric, these concepts are like really, really overwhelming to you, but do not worry. By the end of this video, you will become a pro. Why I'm introducing you to these terms, so that you will feel familiar. Oh, we heard this term, we already know about a little bit about this term, so that is why I'm just introducing you to these terms. Okay, so do not need to worry, I will just tell you everything. So let's create our first lake house. Okay, and let me just show you how it looks like. By the way, I have created a cool repository for you, from where you can just download all the data files that I'll be using inside this video or in the video. So let me just show you that as well. So this is the repository. I will just provide the link in the description. You can just download these files that we'll be using to play with the Fabric Data Factory today. Okay, simple, 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 simple. Don't worry, I will just tell you everything, bro. Everything, everything, everything. And what is the source of this data? Like the original source. Simply go to this link, which is tableau.com app learn sample data. So this is the Tableau public app, and from here I have just copied the data, which is this one, Netflix movies TV. And they have also provided the source of this link, source of this, let's say, data set. Simply click on it, Kaggle, and this is the actual link that Tableau data has provided. Thanks Shivam Bansal for providing us the data set. Really appreciate it. So this data is in Excel format. Okay, and I have just created multiple CSV files so that you can actually play with data. See, category, caste, countries, directories, and titles. So they're like multiple CSV file. You can either download from here or from there. It's your choice, bro. So, simply go to your workspace. Okay, then click on new item, and this time, before choosing data pipeline, now you need to pick Lakehouse. Very good. Simply search Lakehouse in this list. It should be in the beginning. You see, here it is. Simply click on it. Click on it. Then, this is important. Do not click on Lakehouse schemas. I know it is in public preview. So when we create Lakehouse, we do not need to pick schemas. Okay. So you can simply give any name to Lakehouse. There's not much difference, bro. First of all, there's not much difference. So the only difference is you can create schemas within Lakehouse, and if you do not create schemas within Lakehouse, it automatically gets a schema called DBO. Not a big deal. Do not need to worry. Okay. So I'll simply call it as, let's say, Fabric DF. Okay, and I will call it as bronze. Let's play with Medallion architecture so that you will actually feel. Okay, Fabric Data Factory bronze, let's say. Okay, do not check on this box. Okay, click on create. It will create a lake house for us, and I will just give you a quick overview of the lake house as well. I know we are not learning lake house in detail, but you should know, because you are my fam. I want you to learn everything. So this is your lake house explorer. Okay, before even explaining this area, simply go to your workspace, because you will see three things. Okay, this is your Lakehouse Explorer. Okay, this is your SQL endpoints of the Lakehouse Explorer. What is this? What is this? So if you have not watched my Fabric Data Engineering video, you can definitely watch that video. I have just covered everything in detail, because this is strongly related to data engineering. I can just show you the video here as well if I just find it. So I can simply search on Shlamba. So the video is this one. Where it is, yeah, this one, Fabric Data Engineering video. You can just definitely watch this video. You will learn everything related to Lakehouse and all, but still I will just give you a quick overview. But if you want to just learn about these things in detail, this is the video for you, bro. This is the video for you, and this is an amazing video. Okay, so this is the SQL endpoints where you can actually query the data. Okay, and this is a default semantic model that you get for free. So whatever you are creating in this lakehouse, all the tables will be going to that particular semantic model automatically. Or you can create a new semantic model from here as well. So not a big deal. So simply click on this Lakehouse Explorer. This is your area. This is your area where you can actually play with your lakehouse and all those stuff. Okay. So as you can see, we have here two major areas. One is tables, one is files. So we will simply click on files, and you will see nothing, because we do not have anything, right? We do not have anything, but we will create one thing here. We will create an empty folder. Click on these three dots. See, you can see new shortcut, new subfolder. Do not worry, bro. I have just covered everything in detail in that particular video. So for now, we will simply create a new subfolder. Oops, new subfolder, and folder name can be anything. Let's say raw data. raw get data. Raw get data, yes. Simply click on create. Okay. So this is my empty folder. If you click on this, we have nothing. Okay. Now we are all set to just use our data factory pipelines. So simply go to the workspace. Now create pipeline. Now create a pipeline. So click on data pipeline. Then it will simply say name a pipeline. You can name it anything because we can obviously change it later. So simply pick like pipeline one. Just make Fabric happy. Click on create. Okay. Then it will create a canvas, a pipeline canvas for you, like everything, like your Fabric data factory is here. See, this is your Fabric data factory. This is your Fabric data factory. Now it is saying, hey, start with a blank canvas or start with guidance. So Ansh Lamba is here to guide my lovely data fam, because trust me, you should not go with this thing, because this will open up templates and you cannot learn much with templates. You learn the most when you build everything from scratch. So just pick, start with blank canvas, and it is saying, hey bro, just pick one activity so that I can create a canvas for you. So even if you do not want to use, let's say, delete activity, just pick it. Just pick it. We will delete it later. Not delete it, like we will delete this delete activity later. Okay, just pick anyone, bro. Just pick anyone. Let's say lookup. Pick it. See, because we just wanted to reach to this canvas. That's it. That's it. So now I can click on this and I can simply click on delete. Because we just want to reach to this canvas. This is our Fabric data factory. Okay, let me just give you a cute overview of this whole canvas. I know it is totally different from Azure Data Factory. Do not worry, I'm here to tell you. First of all, Ansh Lamba, do not use the word Azure Data Factory now. Just use Fabric Data Factory. Okay, because I know a lot of you will be learning Data Factory directly using Fabric. So that will not be fair for them. So promise, I will not be using Azure Data Factory. I will try. Okay. So let me start with the home. This is our home, and this is the most important ribbon, or let's say this is the most important area. Okay. Let's start from the left. This is our save button. Whatever activities we'll be performing today, we can save our work. This is, yes. Then we have save as. If we just want to save our pipeline to a different workspace, this is similarly exactly same as the save or save as options available for any kind of file or Excel. Exactly same. Exactly same. Then what is this? This is export. If you just want to export this particular pipeline, I know it is empty, but it will not be empty. Then import. If you just want to import a pipeline, let's say any kind of template, any kind of code that your company has already written. So these are the options. Then you have use a template. If you just want to use a template from the repository, you can just click on it. It will just open use a template. Then settings, obviously settings of this whole data factory. Then this is discard. Let's say you have just written something and you have just made some changes, but you do not need to do that. It is a kind of undo option for you. Validate option is really helpful whenever you just develop something. Before running, you can click on validate so that you can see the errors. Okay. Then you have run button, obviously. Run. This thing is really cool. This is your schedule trigger. This is your schedule trigger. That means once your pipeline is ready, don't worry, I'll just tell you how you can just do that. Don't worry. So this is your schedule trigger. Once your pipeline is ready, you can schedule your pipelines and you can just run your pipelines on a dedicated schedule. Make sense? Very good. Then this is add trigger. Just click on it. I know this is in preview. So when you just need to add a trigger, you can definitely create a trigger based on, let's say, tumbling window trigger, or let's say storage events trigger, or any kind of trigger other than schedule trigger. Okay. So this is basically the real trigger that we have in Data Factory. This is a kind of scheduling the pipeline only. But if you just talk about the trigger, we can categorize it as a schedule trigger, but these are the real triggers in which we can just use other triggers as well, and not only the schedule triggers. Okay. Then view run history. This is the monitor tab of your Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory, just kidding, Fabric Data Factory. So this is your monitor tab of Fabric Data Factory, from where you can just view the run history of a specific pipeline only a specific pipeline, not all the pipelines. If you want to see the run history or monitor all the pipelines, simply click on this monitor tab. This is a dedicated area, but if you just want to see the run history of this particular pipeline, this is the area. Then these are the activities, just ignore it. Why? Let me tell you. Because we have a better way to look at it. Simply go to activities. Okay, this is the area that is dedicatedly built for activities. These are all the activities that we have available in Fabric Data Factory. We have almost all the activities that were available in ADF, plus we have more activities such as, let's say, scheduling, semantic model refreshes, send an email notification on any kind of failure. We have so much of stuff. We have so much of stuff. Okay, so as you can see, all these activities are here. Now you will say, Ansh Lamba, we have much more activities in ADF and here we just have these activities. So answer to your question, just click on these three dots. Here you have like all the activities. Now you got the answer. Good. So now you can see like all the activities are here, and you can see some new activities as well, such as notifications, and then obviously we have refreshes, semantic model refreshes. So we have genuinely see, we have really cool features. Then we obviously have Azure Data Bricks. So we have really cool additions here, including KQL. Okay, so this is the area. Okay, then we have run tab, which is similar to the one that we saw in homepage. There's no difference. Then obviously view. In view, you can obviously zoom in, zoom out, and added JSON code. What is this? So whatever you do here, obviously you do not code anything. You do not need to write any code, but behind the scenes, someone is writing the code, right? That is Fabric Data Factory. So you can just go inside it and edit the JSON code. Okay. Then auto align, this is just a button that you can just click on it if you have like so many activities and you do not need to uh, drag it to just see all the activities. Just click on it. It will auto align all the activities based on the canvas size. Very good overview, trust me. So now homepage. So what will be our first activity? Our first activity will be the most popular activity and the most important activity, which will be copy data. Simply click on this drop down and just click on add to canvas. So this is my copy data activity that we have added. Perfect, perfect. So as the name suggests, this activity is used to perform copying the data from one place to another, and this is the activity that you have to use in all the solutions, because the purpose of every pipeline, or let's say the purpose of most of the pipelines, is migrating the data. Okay, then this activity is used. And if you remember, we just saw a word called copy job. Copy job is a kind of alternative to this copy activity. Not an alternative, but that copy job can be used to fulfill some of the requirements that will outperform the copy data activity in just some use cases, not in all the use cases, in just some use cases. And that is currently in preview. So that is in preview. So we do not need to worry about that thing for now. So let's focus on copy data activity. So just click on it. You will see this area. So first of all, this is the name. Let's say I want to rename it, and I will simply say copy get data. Okay, simple. Then you all know like activity state, activated, deactivated, then timeout. This is the 12 hours. If the pipeline is running for 12 hours, you just need to say, hey, just timeout. Retry policy, we are not retrying any failures. Okay, then what is the source? What is the source? So if you remember, I told you that copy data activity just copies the data from a source and it pushes the data to a destination. And for that, we use, let me just write it here again, destination. Yeah. And for that, we use something called as connectors. And for that connector, we need something called as connection. Very well done. This is the area for that. So we just need to click on select. You will see some connections already built. Don't worry, I will just create new connections because these are the existing connections that I have in this particular workspace. So I will simply say more. Okay, click on more. Then it will just pop up the window. So here you have like so many connectors. Let me just show you, bro. You will feel like, wow, man. Click on view more, and these are your all the connectors. You can just connect to all these data sources like this, like this. This is such a cool feature, such a cool feature. Either you're working with Snowflake, Data Lake, Synapse, SQL database, functions, Oracle data, on-prem data, MongoDB, MariaDB, Dynamics AX, Microsoft 365, HTTP, Google Cloud Storage, Amazon S3, buckets, everything, bro. Everything. Everything. Cool. I know it is cool. So now let me just tell you our particular scenario. So what we will be doing, we will simply go to our GitHub repository, okay, and we will pull this particular data, which is Netflix directors. Okay, we will pull Netflix directors data from GitHub. Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Okay. So we will pull this data from our GitHub repository, and we will put this data into the Lakehouse. This is our first scenario, or let's say this is our first activity that we are going to perform. Okay, very good. How we can do that? We all know that we just need to create a connection to this GitHub. Make sense? Okay. So we need to just create a connection with this GitHub. Okay. And for that, what we need to do, simply click on this directors file. Okay. You will see this thing. This is your data. But you need to do one more thing in order to get the URL. Click on raw. Then this is the exact data that you are looking for. Okay, this is the URL that you will be using to establish the connection. Obviously that makes sense, because if we are just pulling the data from any source, we need to build the connection. And if we are just pulling the data from an API or any website, we need the connection in the form of URL, right? Okay, so this is the URL that we will be copying. So you can just copy this URL from here till .com, only till .com, only till .com. Okay, then go back to your fabric and just search HTTP, this one. Because this is an HTTP connection, now you have two options. You can either use HTTP or REST API. So it is recommended by Microsoft, if you have data directly available in the form of, let's say, available in the website or in the web page, then you can directly use HTTP connection instead of using REST API. REST API should be used when you are just looking for the responses. Okay, but here we know that when we will be hitting an API, we will directly getting the data instead of any kind of response. Obviously that is also a kind of response, but that is the whole data that we are looking for. So we just need to pick HTTP. Then it is saying, hey, I will just create a connection with your source. I need URL, just provide that URL till .com. Okay, then it will say connect. Simply click on connect. Simply click on connect. That's it. Okay, then it will just create the connection for you. This is the connection. Obviously you can just name it anything like GitHub con and anything. I just picked GitHub con, that is GitHub connection. That's it. Before performing anything, I will click on test connection, because my connection should be successful, right? That is the first step. So simply click on test connection, and it should hardly take few seconds to test our connection. And once it is done, we are good to go. Perfect. Perfect. Now it is saying, what is the relative URL? So relative URL is nothing but a kind of endpoint of the API that we need to provide. So simply go to your web page and just copy the rest of the URL. The rest of the URL. See this one. Rest of the URL. Simply go here and paste this URL. Perfect. Okay. Now, what is the file format? We know that it is in the form of CSV. So pick CSV instead of binary. Okay. So simply see delimited text, which is a CSV file format. Now, advanced app. So it is saying that what is the method of API call? We know that it is get. Okay, it is fine. You do not need to touch anything. Then you can also preview the data before pulling this data. So simply click on preview data. You should see the data exactly in the form that you are looking for, just to confirm that okay, data is looking fine. Okay, this is the data. Then destination. Now here I will simply click on more. Simply click on more. So here you will see that we need to pick the lake house, right? So if you just scroll down, you will automatically see all the lake houses listed in your particular workspace. So you can simply pick this one because this is our lake house. Okay, that's it. That's it. This is our destination, right? Now file path. What is the file path? If you remember, we have created one subfolder which is called as raw data. How we can just pick that one? Simply click on browse button. You will see raw get data. Just select this, and obviously within this we have nothing, so we'll simply say okay. Now you as a data engineer have the choice to put anything here. If you just put, let's say, raw data.csv, it will just save your file with that particular name, which is a good practice, so simply say raw data.csv, cvs, CSV. Okay, simple. Now I will click on mapping. What is this? Click on import schemas. I will just tell you what is this. And this is the most important thing in copy data, because as you can see that we just have like two columns, director and show ID. That's it. And these are the data types. Let's say you want to just change the data type of the column while just performing the copy activity. You can simply click on this type button and you will see all the options available. That's it. So you do not need to perform any kind of schema changes after loading the data. You have the capability to perform data mapping before doing anything. Why it is mandatory, why it is important? Because let's say you are regularly ingesting the data. Okay, suddenly after a week one column's data type is changed, and you have specifically mentioned that I can expect the data type in the form of string, but let's say after 1 week director column is coming in the form of int. It will fail. It will not insert the data and it will not make the data corrupted. No, it will simply fail the pipeline. That's what you want. That's called the hard mapping, or let's say you can say the mapping that we want to force, or let's say schema enforcement. Okay, so this is the thing that you need to consider every time. Okay, perfect. So don't worry, I will just tell you one more thing. I just got an idea. Okay, I'll just tell you, don't worry. That is a kind of real time scenario. That is the a complex one, but I will just show you, don't worry. But I will just show you at the end of this particular session so that you can actually understand it. I don't want to make things complex in the beginning, and obviously those pro data factory developers, be ready, bro, be ready. Okay, this is done. Now I'm all set. Let me just click on this canvas, the blank canvas. Now I'm all set. Now I want to run this pipeline. Okay, click on home, and before running simply click on validate, because if you will have any errors you will see here, but we do not have. Click on close, click on run, save and run, obviously, because we need to just save our development. So it will simply perform the copy activity right now, and it will actually ingest the data from the GitHub to our lakehouse. Yes, to our lakehouse. Okay, so this is the most basic activity or most basic pipeline that we can create in Data Factory. And after this one, we're gonna level up. How? I will just tell you. Don't worry. Hold your emotions. Hold your emotions. Oh, it failed. By the way, what is the reason? What is the reason, bro? So bad data is found in line 1497 in source. Okay, source is equal to this one. Bad data found to null. Oh, okay. So I think we have some nulls in our data. So do you know how to just troubleshoot this error? By the way, I'm happy that we just saw this error, because this is one of the real-time scenarios that you need to just consider. But the best way to troubleshoot this issue is you simply need to call Fabric. No. They will just cancel your license, bro. So, by the way, this is a real-time scenario. Jokes apart, this is a real-time scenario. Click on this copy activity. So, if you just go to mapping, do you know the issue? Let me just tell you. So, the thing is, you are pulling the data from the APIs. Okay, in that particular API, for some records, we have corrupted data. That can be the scenario, right? And at the same time, we want to enforce the schema enforcement. One way of troubleshooting this issue is just remove this mapping, but that's not what we should do. Why? Because we want schema enforcement. So how we can just troubleshoot this issue? So just go to settings. Okay, you have something called as fault tolerance. We have this option available in the copy activity. It is called fault tolerance. We have multiple options. Click on it. It is saying skip incompatible rows, so we can just skip the incompatible rows which are corrupted. This is the issue. Simply check this box, and the moment you check this box, you are good to run your pipeline, rerun your pipeline. Let me just click on run, save and run, and you will see what you have one invalid activity. To save the pipeline, you can fix deactivate activity. Which one? Please select a connection. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Where's the destination? Okay, this is one. Source, it is fine. This is fine. Okay, let me just click on validate. Please select a connection for login. Oh, we do not need to perform any kind of logging, because it is saying, hey, do you want to perform any logs? Because whenever we check this box, this one, it automatically enables logging. What is logging? So let me just click on this. You see, when selecting this option, you can log copied files, skipped files, and rows. So we know that we are just skipping the incompatible rows, but we need to store that data somewhere, right? We do not need to, but we can. But if we want to just skip the corrupted records, we just need to uncheck this box like this. If we want to store the corrupted records as well in a separate location, because obviously we cannot store the corrupted records and the fine records in the same location, then we need to just click on this box. We can just save that data in a separate location. So as you can see, you can log copied files. Obviously it will just save the log information, that time, duration, pipeline run ID, name, everything, and skipped files and rows. But in our case, we do not need to log it. I'm just telling you, you can. Okay, now you can just simply run it, save and run. It should run fine, man. Come on, man, come on. Yeah, it is running fine. So it is running. Let me just see. So it is the area where you can actually see the status of everything. And let me just tell you, bro, we will be using this thing, input and output, in the subsequent activities. Okay, because this is really important. And this is your status, which is queued. This is run start time and duration it took to actually run your pipeline. Okay, very good. Wow, finally your first pipeline has succeeded. Are you excited to see the output? Are you excited? Okay, you should. If you are not, click on this fabric data factory bronze. This is your lakehouse. Just refresh this. There are two ways to refresh it. Either you can simply go to this and then click on refresh, or click on this button. It will refresh the whole lakehouse. Click on it. Perfect. Now you can see under raw get data, we have this data with this name, raw data.csv. Awesome. Awesome. Let me just show you some things, because this is the best time to show those things. What is that? It is called monitoring. Just click on view run history, because I want to see the run history of this pipeline, because we know that we had some failures, right? Click on view run history, and then you will see all the run histories like this. Not started, failed, succeeded, failed. So these are all the and submitted by this username. So you will see, hey, who initiated this pipeline and who failed this pipeline. Okay, then there's one more thing which is really important. Go to monitor tab because this will expand this area. See, this is now the expanded version. So if you just click on anything, let's say, because under monitor you can monitor all the objects including pipelines. Click on any pipeline. Let's say this is my pipeline name and I want to see everything like with details. Click on it. So this is the most detailed view of your pipeline monitoring. Most detailed view. So it is saying, hey, this is the copyright activity, it was failed at this time, it ran for 19 seconds, input was this, output was this. I can click on input, I can see the code, that this was the input of my code. Then I have one more thing, which is Gantt. By the way, Gantt is much more relevant when you have multiple activities, but still I will show you. So instead of showing you the matrix like this, you will see the matrix in the form of charts. So it is saying that copy data activity took this much of time. So when you have multiple activities, you can actually see which activity is taking more time, which activity is taking less time. So this is a good way to do that. And if you just want to rerun your activity, you can do that from here. You have basically two options: rerun the entire data pipeline or rerun from failed activity. Let's say in the whole pipeline you have so many activities and only one activity failed, and that activity was at the end of the pipeline. So instead of running the whole pipeline, you would want to rerun your pipeline from the failed pipeline. Make sense? Make sense? This is the area that is really, really helpful. Okay, perfect. So this is our first pipeline. Okay, this is our first pipeline. Monitoring hub, everything is fine. Let me just open the pipeline from here. Let me just close this. Pipeline one. Perfect. So this is my activity. This was like one of the basic thing that we can do, like the most simplest thing. Yeah, I know, but you should know like how to deal with it. Okay. Now I will just level up a little bit, a little bit, not much, a little bit. So what I will do, what I will do, what I will do. So let's suppose you do not want to copy this data. Okay, like we do not want to copy this data. You want to copy this data, but not every time. Not every time. Okay, like what do I mean by this? Not every time. So what we will be doing, what we will be doing. So we will simply can use an if condition on top of this copy activity. Okay, let me just grab that if condition activity. Okay, so just go to three dots and then condition control flow if condition. Perfect. So now I will just show you how you can just integrate copy data activity and if condition. So now what we need to perform, we actually want to enhance our pipeline. We know that this is our main activity, but we do not want to actually copy the data every time. No. So what we will do, we will simply click on the blank canvas. Okay. Now we will create a variable. Okay. Now we will create something called as variable, or let's say a parameter. It's up to us. Okay. Let's create a parameter and we will simply call it as, let's say, flag, run flag. Okay. And the default value will be nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. Then what we will do, what we will do, we will simply say if condition, if condition. So this is our this thing, and we'll simply say parameter, and this is the value. And what we can do, we can either create here set variable activity just to set that variable. Otherwise, it is fine. It is fine. Or let's say I'm just creating a variable here so that it will be easier for you to explore more and more activities. Okay. So let's create a variable. Okay. Click on plus new, and this will be my run variable. Perfect. Default value will be nothing, nothing. Now create another activity which is called set variable. This one. Put it here, and we will simply say set run variable, because we are using here set run variable. Okay, settings. Now it is saying variable type. Variable type is pipeline variable or pipeline return variable. We want to just pick pipeline variable because we are not returning this value through a pipeline. Okay. Then click on name. This is my variable name. Now it is saying what will be the value. I will say, bro, let me just tell you what will be the value. Click on this box. Click on this add dynamic content. Then you will see an expression builder here. Just select on this run flag, because whatever value we will be providing to this parameter, this variable will take it automatically. Simple. Click on OK. So now this variable will take the value of this parameter. You will say, Ansh Lamba, this is empty. Put some value. I will say no, no, because I will put the value to this parameter every time I want to run the pipeline. So I will be putting that value during compile time. Okay. Or let's say for default value, I can simply say no. Okay. Just to save the compute. That's it. If someone like, let's say, run the pipeline. Okay. So what I will do, I will simply connect this pipeline to if condition. Connect it. Now this pipeline is connected to this one. Like this activity is connected to this one. Click on if condition, click on activities, and you will see expression. So basically this is your if condition that you use in any programming language. Let's say Python, C++, Java. If you are not familiar with any programming language, okay, this is a kind of if condition that you would have used in Excel spreadsheets, okay. If you are not even familiar with Excel spreadsheets, this is just a condition that you want to provide to perform this activity, because if the condition is true, perform this activity. If the condition is false, perform this activity. I know for now we do not have any activity inside this, we will put it. Wait, okay. Simply go inside this box, click on add dynamic content, and then we will just create a condition. We will simply say at the rate equals this is the low code. You need to learn this, like how to just write this, okay. And don't worry, you will just learn it along the way. So equals is a function which will compare the value between two, okay. What will be our first value that we need to compare? First value is obviously the variables, system variables, or let's say simple variables. Simply click on run variable. This is the variable. We need to say if this variable value equals to yes, equals to single quotes yes, then only make this condition true. Otherwise the condition will be false. Condition will be false. Perfect. Very good. Click on OK. So now it is saying, hey bro, if the condition is true, okay, I will allow this. But what activity I need to perform under true? I will simply click on pencil button. Okay, and then I can just copy this copy rate activity. Just simply copy or just cut this activity. Control X. Okay, then click on this if condition. Click on this pencil button. You will actually reach inside the true activity. So if the condition is true, then perform this copy rate activity. Make sense? Make sense? So we will only perform this copy data activity if the condition is true. Otherwise, simply click on this pipeline one. See, now as you can see, one copy data activity is inside this. Wow. Now, if the condition is false, click on this if condition, click on this pencil. Then what we should perform if the condition is false? Actually, we do not need to perform anything. So in that particular scenario, we can either leave this as it is, or we can perform one activity which is called wait activity. Click on these three dots, and then you can simply pick wait activity, and then you can perform wait activity. You can perform wait activity here, and what wait activity will do? Nothing. It will just wait for 1 second. I can increase the time, let's say for 3 seconds. That's it. That's it. I just want to show you one special thing. We are inside if condition. Okay, we are inside if condition, if true or false. Click on these three dots. Why you are seeing oops why you are seeing some activities are grayed out, such as if condition, for each, until. Why? Because because you cannot perform these activities inside the if condition. Really? Yes, you cannot. In ADF, actually we can perform this for each activity inside if condition, but here in Fabric Data Factory we cannot perform for each activity inside if condition. Okay, okay, makes sense. So just keep this thing in your mind. So if I just go to pipeline one, as you can see, click on pencil, click on these three dots. Let me just increase the size. Yep, let me just increase the size from here as well. Yep. So see here, these are also grayed out. First thing, we cannot perform if condition within if condition. Also, we cannot perform for each activity within if condition. Just keep this thing in your mind, okay, while creating the solutions. Perfect. Are you excited to run this pipeline? Are you excited? Let me first click on home and validate. Okay, everything looks fine. So this time I will simply click on run. Okay, and this time, as you can see, I have the option to provide the default value. Let me just put it here, yes. Okay, let me just click on run, save and run. Obviously it will just ask me the default, like the real value every time. If I just click on OK, it will just pick the default value. Otherwise I can simply say yes, because I want to run the pipeline. Click on OK. Now you know the flow. What will happen? You know the flow. What is the flow? The flow is, first of all, this set variable activity will get the value as yes. Then it will check the if condition. If the condition is true, then only it will perform this copy data activity. Otherwise it will perform that wait activity. Let's see what happens. Ideally, if everything is fine, it should run this copy data activity, and let's see what actually happens. Okay, let's see. So currently, oh, perfect, man. Perfect. See, it has actually performed set variable activity. Okay. And condition was true. We know that because we just put yes there. So it performed copy data activity based on that particular input. Boom. It was a good shot. So you want to see the output? Let me just click on output of set variable. You should see yes. See, name is run variable and value is yes. Okay. And then obviously these are the main migration activities. If you just want to see the output, you can simply go to Lakehouse Explorer, click on refresh. Now you will obviously see the same file, because every time it overwrites the file because we have just provided the name, but time is changed. It is the latest time. Make sense? Very good. Very good, very good, very good. This is our pipeline that we can save now. Okay, it is saved. So this is the first activity, or let's say first pipeline that we have built along with some validation steps. Now the level will be really, really up, because now I'm going to just introduce one pipeline which will which will include so many activities. Okay, and which will include like some crazy concepts like parameterization, dynamic pipelines, and obviously we will just do like so much in that particular pipeline. So now you have a strong base setup, and now you're familiar with so many pipelines such as if condition, copy, wait, set variable, parameters, everything. So now it's actually time to perform that particular, or let's say build that particular pipeline. So for that, we need to do one more thing. We need to first of all go to our repository. Okay, click on back, and then as you can see, these are the files that we have here. So what we will do, we have already copied this file from GitHub. We will manually upload caste, category, country, and titles, these four files, to data lake, and we will just pull the data dynamically from the Azure data lake. Okay, and this time we're not gonna statically copy the data, we're gonna dynamically copy the data. Let me just tell you how, and it will be a great pipeline, trust me. So for that, I can simply go to my Azure portal. Okay, simply go to home and go to resource groups, go to your Fabric Data Factory resource group, go to your storage account, click on containers and click on raw. Within this, I will create a directory and I will simply say git files. Make sense? You can just pick any name. Click on this. Now I will click on upload, and I will upload those four files that you can download from my GitHub repository. I have already downloaded it. Let me just upload them. As you can see, I have uploaded four files. Okay, let me just click on upload. So it has uploaded four files. Let me tell you, bro, before performing this, before building this, why I included this solution. This pipeline will actually guide you how you need to migrate the data from Azure solutions to Fabric solutions. Because obviously, if you're hired as a Fabric data engineer, okay, so you need to migrate the stuff, right? So you should know how to build connections with the existing Azure data solutions, Azure data lake, and how you can efficiently pull all the data in one go, and how you can dynamically build the pipelines, how you can just perform everything. So that is why I have included this particular pipeline, because this pipeline is a kind of, let's say, real-time scenario, and not just real-time scenario including one or two activities, dedicated real-time scenario which will actually include so many things, so many concepts. And after building this pipeline, you can confidently migrate these solutions from Azure Data Factory to Fabric Data Factory. Trust me, this will build a strong base for your understanding. Obviously, you will be learning along the way. You will be building projects in your organization, but this will build a very strong base for you. And trust me, you will build really good solutions after this. Okay, are you excited? Are you excited? If yes, just shout in the comment right now. Just show your excitement in the comments right now. Why do you feel shy, bro? You will say, hey, what people will think. Let them think. They are born to think. You are born to do. That's the difference between you and them, right? Let them think. Let them do what they are born for. And you should let yourself do for what you are born for. Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Do not worry about anyone. Do not worry about anyone. Anyone. Do not. Perfect, Ansh Lamba. Now we are all charged up. Now just show us what we actually need to perform. Let's do it. Let's do it. First of all, my data fam, my lovely data fam, I want to change the name of this pipeline because I do not like this name. I want to say get data. Okay, perfect. Let me just click on save. Okay, saved. Now let me just close this. I will go inside my workspace. I will create another pipeline. Okay, I will create another pipeline. I will simply click on data pipeline and I will name it as Azure Data. Very good. Create. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So what we need to do, bro, you know what to do. Simply click on canvas, blank canvas. Do not touch any kind of template. Okay. Do not touch. So pick any activity, any activity. Let's say copy activity. Pick any activity, bro. So to actually build the solution, okay, we need to perform the development in iterations. Why? Because only then you will be able to understand. Okay, so we will build this whole pipeline in iterations, in multiple iterations. So iteration number one, or let's say in multiple sprints. Let's act like a project. This is, bro, this is fun, trust me. Sprint number one for this particular pipeline. So what we need to do, we need to perform copy data activity between Azure Data Lake and Fabric. Between Azure Data Lake and Fabric. Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Make sense? Let's perform that simply. In sprint 2, I will just tell you how to dynamically do that. In sprint 3, I will just make some enhancements as well. Okay, so how to do that? Simply change the name and you can just pick copy Azure data. Okay, what will be our source? What will be our source? First of all, just tell me what will be our source. So our source will be obviously a new source. Why? What why? We are just pulling the data from the Azure data lake and you are just putting like asking why. Click on more, then just click on view more. Then you need to pick Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. This one. Do not get confused between Azure Blobs and Azure Tables. Just open your eyes. Just pick this one, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, because this is our data lake. Okay. Click on this. It is saying provide me the URL. Where's the URL? I don't have the URL. So simply go to Azure Data Lake. Simply go to your, let's say, Fabric Data Factory storage account. Click on this. Scroll it down. Okay. Go to your here, security plus networking. Okay. Scroll it down. Then you can just go to settings as well. Yeah. In the settings, you can simply click on endpoints. Click on endpoints. Then these are the endpoints that you need to use. All? No, 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 not all. Just this one. Data lake storage. But you cannot do that. You cannot do that. Why? Okay. This is your fabric. Let me just close this. Yeah, discard. This is your fabric. Okay. This is your Azure. Are these two entities like siblings to each other? Do they? No, right? They don't know each other, right? So how you can read the data sitting in the data lake? How? Who are you, man? How you can just read the data? Let's say This is your account. Okay, this is your email account. Okay, you are saying I want to read data sitting in this data lake. Who are you? Who are you? You cannot. You cannot. For that, you need the permissions. For that, simply go to access control, click on it, click on add role assignment, then click on role. So these are all the roles. You need to pick role called storage blob data contributor. Simply pick storage blob data contributor, this one. See, click on this, click next. Then you need to pick that user. Which user? The email ID that you have just created. So simply click select members. So you can just copy the or paste the email ID, or I can simply pick it from here, fabric DE, click on select, review plus assign, review plus assign, and now it is adding the role assignment. It is done. Click on the role assignments. You should see that particular email ID. Yeah, here it is. Now it has this role, Azure Storage Blob Data Contributor. Now you can do that because now Azure Data Lake knows that this particular email account has the access. And in Fabric Data Factory, or let's say in Fabric Solution, your organization's account need the access to any data. Okay. So now you can simply go to your data lake, or let's say containers, or let's say overview. Okay. Scroll it down, go to settings, go to endpoints. Now you can copy this data lake storage endpoint. Now you are fine. Now you're good. Now you're good. Go here, source, more, and then more, then data lake storage and 2, then paste the URL here. Perfect. What will be the connection name? Give a good connection name. I will simply say Azure DL con. Okay. So now it is saying authentication kind, organizational account. Now your organizational account has the access to that data lake. This is one of the real-time scenarios. There'll be so many real-time scenarios in this pipeline. So just be ready. Okay. Now click on connect. So now it is connecting to the data source. Sometimes it takes like 4 to 5 to 6 minutes. So if you do not see data connection is successful, just retry it after let's say 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes time. Okay. So file path. What is the file path? Click on browse. Okay. Now you will see everything within the Azure Data Lake because now you have the access, right? Click on raw. This is the container that you created. Click on it. You will see a folder inside it that you created. It is loading. It is loading. So get files, right? Click on it. That's it. That's it. That's it. This is your folder. This is your folder, right? So these are your files. These are your files. Okay, these are your files. So now what I will do, I will pick any file. Let's say countries. Any file, any file. For now, any file because this is not the final solution. Just pick any file. Click on OK because I want to just show you how you can just pull the data from Azure Data Lake to Fabric One Lake. Okay. Click on OK. This is fine. This is fine. Now, what is the destination? What is, by the way, what is the file format? CSV. CSV is delimited text. This one. Perfect. So now what is the destination? So the destination will be obviously our DF bronze. We already have established the connection, but we can pick another directory. Another directory. If I just click on browse, I just have one directory. So what? So what? Whatever, whatever you will put here, it will create a directory for you automatically. Yes, during runtime. So let's say I want to say Azure test because I'm just testing my connection and pulling the data. That's it. And file name will be, let's say, test.csv. Let's say, or let's say if you want to convert your file from CSV to Parquet, you can even perform in copy it activity. Simply say test.parquet. Simple. Then file format will be Parquet. Sorted, bro, sorted. I do not need to perform mapping. It's fine. Okay, destination is fine because when we do not perform any mapping, it will just automatically infer the schema every time and it will just throw the data. That's it. It will not enforce any schema. Okay, let me just validate it and run it just to show you what will happen. Save and run. Okay, save and run. So it is now running. It is now running. Okay. It should just dump the data. That should not take much time by it. In progress. Okay. Loading activity runs. Hmm. So it has succeeded. Very well done, my bro. Very well done. If you also saw green button. Okay. So now it is done. Ansh Lamba, we want to validate the data. Okay, you can validate the data. Simply go to Lakehouse and let me just refresh it. You should see another folder created for you. Perfect, man. Perfect. Click on this. See, this is your Parquet file. Click on that file. Click on that file. This is the preview not available. The file type is not supported for preview, obviously, because you cannot preview the Parquet data. It is not the normalized data. It is encoded data. But if you just click on raw data, you can actually see the data because you can preview it. Okay. Very well done, Ansh Lamba. Okay. Now this simple activity is done. Now let's upskill the level. Upskill, upscale. Upscale. Okay. So, okay, let me just pull my cuffs. Okay. So the scenario is very simple. Don't worry. Scenario is not simple. Solution will be simple because I will explain you everything. So now, as you know, we have copied only one file. Okay. We have total 4 files. We have copied only one file. Now, how we can dynamically copy all the files from Azure Data Lake? From Azure Data Lake, not from any GitHub or any other kind of, you can say, repository or anything. We need to incrementally load all the files. All the files. And I just want to increase the difficulty level, not the difficulty level, just the challenges. So the challenge is you cannot even use any kind of JSON file. You cannot even use any kind of, you can say, array string, nothing. Just copy all the files without using any kind of JSON files or any kind of array string, nothing. How you will do it? How you will do it? So the solution is very simple. Okay, let me just tell you. What we're gonna do, basically, click on this copy activity, okay, and go to source, okay. You will notice one thing. What? That we have same container, yes. We have same folder, yes, but we have different file name every time. What if we can create a parameter? We can create a parameter, let's say X, and we can dynamically change the value of this X, okay, and we can just feed this value every time the pipeline is running. Let's say X equals to this Netflix countries. Next time X equals to Netflix cast. Next time Netflix, let's say, whatever the file name is. But this is not the actual challenge. This is not the actual challenge. The actual challenge is, okay, let's create a parameter. How we will feed this parameter? Because Ansh Lamba, you have said we do not need to use any JSON file or any array string. How? Okay, let me just tell you. Let's first create parameter. Let's go step by step. Okay. Oh, let's go step by step. Let's go step by step. Okay. First, let's create the parameter. Okay. So how we can just create the parameter? It's very simple. So let me just click on this. Yeah, perfect. So how we can just create the parameter? So in order to create the parameter, we need to just have something so that actually it can feed this kind of box. This is actually a kind of parameter. So this box is acting as a parameter because this is empty, right? This is empty. We can feed anything. We can feed anything here. Anything. Okay. So let me just explain you. Wait, I know this is a complex solution. Hold on, hold on. You will understand everything. Hold on. That's how you learn and grow, right? That's how you learn and grow. Okay. So first of all, we will, I'm just trying to explain you all the activities in an integrated manner, not like different independent activities. That's not useful, that's not fruitful. You should learn how to use all the activities in an integrated manner, so that you would know, hey, we actually integrate all the activities like this. I can easily show you, hey, what is if activity, what is copy activity, what is append variable activity, what is variable activity, what is blah 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 blah, blah. I can show you. That's not that's not like useful, bro. Why? Just tell me one thing. I will just show you, hey, this activity, this activity, this activity, this activity, this activity. I will just show you all the activities. But then you will say, bro, how to integrate these activities? How to build an end-to-end pipeline to actually use these activities? I just follow that approach. I design the pipelines in such a way so that I will be using so many activities. That's how you will learn. That's how you will feel aligned. And that is the real definition of learning by doing it. People have made a fun of this particular quote, and they are just misusing the statement. So if any developer, or let's say if any creator is just showing you the practical video, they just use the quote learning by doing it. Bro, that is not the actual meaning of this quote. Learning by doing it is like, you actually need to build an end-to-end solution, and you need to include all those small parts in that particular solution, and then you need to explain the concept. That is the real meaning of learning by doing it. Learning by doing it is not equivalent to just showing the practical videos and you are just making independent videos on all the activities. No, learning by doing it is totally different than what you are doing. So do not misguide anyone. If you are not doing, like, if you are not following learning by doing it, you do not need to use that code, bro. You do not need to use it. Just say that I'm just showing the practical videos, that's it. If you are saying that I'm just performing learning by doing it, no, that is not learning by doing it, bro. That is not. Just take it positively, it's up to you. I'm just guiding my data fam because I'm really possessive for them. Okay, so if anyone will be misguiding them, I will be standing there. Okay, and I do not need to afraid of anyone, trust me. So I'll be the most outspoken person at that time. And if you will be just commenting on me, I will totally ignore, because I do not care about myself, but I do care about my data fam a lot. They are really loyal to me, so it's my duty to be possessive for them. So I cannot afford anyone to misguide them. Okay, so I don't need to just say anything. So you're smart enough to understand what I'm talking and what I'm saying. Okay, okay, good for you. Good boy or good girl. Okay, so now let's get back on the video. So now what we will do, we will create one activity. Okay, and it's called get metadata. Get metadata. Very good. Get metadata activity. What this activity will do, let me first bring it so that you can feel it. Okay, go to activities. Okay, click on these three dots, then click on this get metadata. Perfect. Simply rename it. First, you should always do first thing, renaming the activities. I do not like this name, get metadata 1. What is this, man? Get metadata, or let's say get Azure metadata, Azure folder metadata. Okay, get Azure folder metadata. As the name suggests, it will give us the metadata of anything, not anything, folders, or let's say files, everything related to files or folders. It will give us the metadata. Now just tell me, what will be the metadata of folder or file? If we are trying to fetch the metadata of folder, it can be so much. Let's say number of files, not number of files, like all the files, their names, their types, their size, everything. Now what can be the metadata of a file? The answer is very simple. The metadata of file will be, let's say, columns, schema, data types, modified date, everything. Okay, so here's the thing. So what I will do, I will smartly, first of all, let me just go to my storage account. Okay, this one. I will smartly go to containers. Okay, I will go inside the container, inside this folder. I will smartly fetch the metadata of this folder, get files, and what I will choose in that metadata, files, all the child items, all the child items. Child items are like nothing but your all the data or files inside that folder. So what I will get in return, I will get all the file names. That's what I want. That's what I want, bro. See, you just need to fill here the file name. I will smartly get the metadata of each file and I will just provide that. Simple, bro. Yeah, but not really simple. Let me just perform and let me just tell you what will happen, because we need to include one more activity, because we need to run a loop. Stay with me, bro. Just hold on. Hold on. So first of all, let me just deactivate this activity because this is of no use for now. Click on this, go to general, deactivate. Simple. Go to this activity, go to settings. It is asking for a connection. I think we already have a connection. Pick that one, this one, and then browse. Then obviously it will just show you the containers, and we just have one container which is raw. I think so. Yeah. Bro, why are you taking a lot of time? I need to have a shake. Okay, raw. Okay, pick this. Within this, we have like only one folder. Okay. So pick this folder. Now just pick this file. No. Because we are getting the metadata of a folder, not any file. Okay. Do not pick anyone. Just click OK. Oh, can we do that? Yes, you can do that. So if you just click on this, you will see your container is filled, your directory is filled, but file name is empty. And we do not want that. We do not want any file name. We can just leave it empty, leave it blank. Okay. Then file format will be obviously CSV. Makes sense. Delimited text. Okay. Now, by the way, this is not even important. So this is the main thing, which is field list. It is saying what kind of metadata you are looking for. I will say, bro, click on plus new, click on this drop down and just select child items. By the way, we have so many options. Exists. Exist means it will say if this folder exists or not. Okay. Item name, it will simply just pull the item name, the folder name, item type, and then last modified. When it was last modified, this folder. We need child items. Click on child items. That's it. You want to see the output? By the way, we will be using the output of this activity as well. That's why I have deactivated the other activity, because I will be using the output as an input of the other activity. Don't worry. I will just tell you. Don't worry. So what are we gonna do? Simply run this. Click on home. Make sure this is deactivated. Okay. Click on run. Save and run. And I will just show you the output of this activity. Okay. Let me just show you. It should not take much time. It should just take, I think, few seconds. As you can see, this is inactive, so this is not running. Only this will be running. It is succeeded. Bang on. Do you know what this activity has returned or what this activity has done? Click on this output button. This activity has done this. See, it has given me all the child items. Child items basically is an array. See, and inside this I have two keys. One is name, second is type. Name, type, name, type, name, type, and this is the name. Wow, this is what I was looking for. Bro, this is amazing. So what I will do now, I will run a for loop. For loop. Yes, if you are familiar with programming language, we have something called for loop there in the programming languages. We have for loop in Fabric Data Factory as well. So if you are not familiar with for loop, let me just tell you what is that. Basically what we do, we simply write for, okay, then we define a variable, let's say I. Then we write on which we need to perform the iteration. Let's say I want to perform iteration on child items. Can we perform that? Yes, because it is an array. Okay, it is a list, it is an array, so it can be iterated. Okay, items, simply go inside this, and then what I will do when I just run this loop, every time I will go inside this activity. So first time, in the first iteration, I will grab this thing, only this item, only this. Okay, and within this I can perform, let's say if I want to use I dot name, so what I will get, this name. Second time, in the second iteration, I will get this whole dictionary. Okay, obviously it is a dictionary, bro. So I will just get this dictionary. Then I can use I dot name, and what I will get in the I dot name, second I will get Netflix category dot csv. So this way I can perform loop on top of this array, which is child items, which is this one. Let me just zoom it a little bit. Oops. Yeah, child items is my array, and these are all the items that I will getting on each iteration. And obviously I have the power to just pick any kind of key, that is I dot name or I dot type. Obviously it makes sense, I will just pick I dot name. I have the leverage. I can just pick anything. Okay. This is the architecture that we are going to perform right now. So simply close this. So now what we will do, I will simply drag activity called as for each activity, where it is this one. This is a kind of for loop that we have inside Fabric Data Factory. Okay. So simply connect this activity with this one. Okay. And I will simply first of all change the name of it. I will simply say for each Azure file. Okay, perfect. Now go to settings. It is saying, hey, you want to perform a sequential loop or parallel loop. I will simply say parallel loop. I do not want to perform sequential loop. Okay. Then items, what will be the array on which it needs to perform iteration? It is, if you remember, how we can just get that? Let me show you. Did you see this? Okay. Go to the outputs for one more time. Expand it. So this is my array, child items. I just need to use this. And how we can just use that? Click on this, items, dynamic content, then click on this. Then you are seeing all the activity outputs. What is the activity name of this output? Like what will be the activity name of this one? It is get metadata. Simply click on this and then you will see output. Is that the only thing that we need to provide? No, because in the output we need to select that particular array. It is called child items. Very good, perfect. So now it will just get the child items. Okay, so now it will just perform the loop on each activity, on each dictionary. Now is the game starting, bro. Simply click on this, Control X, go inside this pencil. Now you have entered inside the for loop. Paste this and deactivate it, like sorry, activate it. Okay, so now what you will be doing, go to your source. Okay, then what will be your source? You know the git files. What will be the file name? This is the thing. So now you know the concept. It will be the value of I. Obviously, it is not I. That was just the structure, that was just the architecture. What we need to use it here? We have something called as item function. Item function is the, or let's say item is equivalent to I, that I just explained you in the loop. You can just rewatch that part. Click on this, add dynamic content, and simply write at the rate item. That's it, and dot name. It is equivalent to I dot name. Make sense? Make sense? I dot name. Simple. Click on OK. That's it. Your work is done. So what it will do? Every time it will run the loop, it will first fetch the first item, then second, then third, then fourth. That's it. That's it. Then go to destination. So obviously now you can just pick a better folder name. I will simply say Azure files. Okay. Now what will be the file name? Oh, that is the interesting thing, because every time when we just, if I just hard code it, so every time it will just change the file because it just overrides the file. Yes. So here as well, you need to use item dot name. So every time it will bring the new file, it will just save that file with that particular name. Okay. So simply go to add dynamic content and simply say at the rate item dot name. That's it. Click OK. This is my main canvas. So this is the activity that we are going to perform. Let me just expand it. So this will just fetch the get metadata, that will like just fetch all the folder names, and this will perform the for each activity. Is that the only thing that we are going to do? Yes, but still I want to just perform some logging as well on top of it. How? How? Okay, and that will be a dynamic logging. Really? Yeah, that will be a dynamic logging. So how we can just perform that dynamic logging? Okay, let me just tell you. So I will create a variable. Okay, go to variables and I will simply say files, simply files, and the type of that this variable will be array. Okay, 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 okay. Simply go to like click on this pencil. So every time I'm copying the file, okay, every time I'm copying the file, I want to save that information in the array. Okay, makes sense. So every time I'm copying the file, so that I would know at the end of the pipeline, hey, I have copied these 4 files. Let's say tomorrow morning they have uploaded 10 more files, and if you want to just log that information as well, so now you need to just get that information. How? In the loop you already have the file name, so what I will do, I will simply grab the activity called as append variable, not set variable. Why? Because set variable activity will just replace the value with the new one. So let's say you have like 4 values inside the loop. So first time it will get values such as, let's say, titles, but next time it will just overwrite it with the new value. Now we need to use append variable. See, that's how you build an end-to-end solution, so that you can relate with the activities, which activity to use when. See, that's the best way to learn. That's the definition for learning by doing it. Okay. Append variable, click on append variable. So now obviously I will just change append file name, or let's say append files. Okay. Settings. Now it is saying what is the name? We have variable called files. Okay. Now what will be the value? The value will be @item dot name. Okay, perfect. Very good. Oops, item dot name. That's it. Perfect. Connect this activity with this one so that it can perform like every time copy activity is done. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very, very, very good. Looks good, man. Looks good. Okay. So I am thinking to make this solution a little bit challenging. Let's add some challenges. Please, please, please. Why? Let me just tell you. So let me just delete this, or let me just remove the string. Okay. So I just said that I want to log the information about how many files are copied and which were those files. Let's say my copy activity was trying to copy 4 files. Due to any error, one file was not copied. Due to any error, it failed. But according to this current solution, it will save that file name as well. But actually, it was not copied. It was not copied. Okay, it was not copied. So what we can do, so for that, what I'm gonna do now, so I will create another variable. Okay, I will create another variable. I will simply go to home page and I will simply go to variables, and this is my file. So what I will say, I will call it as copied files. Make sense? Make sense? I will create another variable. I will call it as failed files, or let's say, yeah, failed files. Yeah. Okay. Why failed files? So I will just tell you. Wait. Okay, let's give the data type as array. Just go inside this loop like now. So click on this append variable, go to settings, and obviously the name is copied files. Okay, and the item name is this one. Now the whole game will be changed, how we will be connecting these two activities. If I just connect it on success, these are basically the nodes. If I forgot to mention, these are 4 nodes available. The green one is on success. Okay, the gray one is on skip, red one is on fail, blue one is on completion. Okay, so I will simply connect my copy data activity on success with this one, and the append variable item name. Now all those files that will be stored under this variable will be the copied files. Let me just drag another append variable activity. Go to activities, go to append variable. Okay, I will rename it as well, append copied files. Okay, and this will be my append failed files. So what I will do, I will keep a track of the failed files as well, so that let's say out of 4, 2 files would fail, right? then I will try to keep the logs of those files as well. Make sense? Make sense, bro? Make sense? So what I will do, I will connect this file on failure. Perfect. So now if file is successful, like copied successfully, then obviously it will be stored in this variable. If it failed, then it will be stored in this particular variable. Okay. 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 Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. Very good. Now I will go to my main canvas. Okay. This is my main canvas. Now I will drag variable activity, but this time I will drag set variable activity, because now I want to perform, let's say, set variable activity. Now I will create two more variables, because these were the arrays, and now we are storing the information about those arrays. So let's say I want to find how many files copied and how many files didn't get copied. So for that, we need to just create the variables now. Okay. I will simply say copied files size, and another one will be failed file size. Okay. And this will be my integer, and this will be also be integer. Okay. Now a quick question that will just check your IQ. Why I didn't put this set variable inside this? Why? Because we only need to perform this size thing, let's say the overall size, or let's say the count of files, only when the whole loop is completed. Makes sense? Because only then we will be having the final data available in that array, in that variable. Okay. So let me just click on success. Okay. So this is my set variable activity number 1, and I will name it as, let's say, copied files size. Okay. And settings will be, now this is the thing, which is the variable name. Our variable name is copied file size. What is the value? Click on add dynamic content. Now I will just show you what we need to do. Now we need to find the length. Size means length of the array. We have a function called length. Okay. And what is our array? Array is our variable. Go to variables. Where is the variable? Where is the variable? System variables. No, variables. Yeah, select variables. And what is our variable? It is copied files. Simple. So it will just give us the length of this particular variable. Same thing we need to do with another variable. So simply drag set variable here, this one, and this will be my uh, let's say failed file size. Yeah, failed file size. Okay. Setting, what will be the variable name? Failed file size. Dynamic content will be at the rate length of an array. Array will be failed files. Perfect. Done. And this will also be connected on success. Okay. So this is our whole end-to-end solution, and I know you are really excited. By the way, let me just enhance the solution with one more step. Let's say you also want to send a notification about every run to your manager, or maybe to yourself, or to your like senior data engineer. So what you can do, you can actually tell the output of this variable, like this variable, and you can actually save that information in the email. How? You can simply grab the activity called Office 365. Okay, this is the activity. So what we need to do, simply connect both the activities on success. Okay, this one, and then I will just configure it. I will simply say Microsoft 365 Outlook, and in the settings, I just need to sign in with my 365 Outlook account. Obviously, I do not have right now, but I'm just telling you the architecture because it will be really helpful. So you'll simply say sign in to Office 365 Outlook account. Once you sign in with this account, okay, you will simply need to enter the email, and in that email you can use the output of these two variables, and you can send this email to your manager, or let's say to your senior data engineer, or to yourself. And on every run you will get the notification that, let's say, 3 files, or let me just improve my handwriting. So I know how to write with good handwriting as well. So let me just show you. See, I can write with good handwriting as well. So let's say 3 files were successful and 1 file was failed. So all this information will be there in the email. Or you can enhance the email by just putting the output of these two variables as well, which are arrays, so that you can actually save that information in this particular email. So this is the way you need to just perform end-to-end pipeline, end-to-end scenario. Okay, are you excited to run this? Because we have just done so many things without any testing. So I'm really excited and I'm ready for the errors. If we see any, we will just try to debug it. Do not need to worry. And before that, let me just delete this because this is not required. Okay, because we do not have any Outlook account right now. So let me first click on validate. You have one invalid activity. Which one? Append failed files. Where is that activity? Oh, really? Append failed files. We didn't do anything inside this. Oh, we forgot to put this value. Okay, so what will be the value of this? It will be failed files and the value will be item dot name and it will be on failure. Okay, very good. And if we do not have any failure, this variable will be empty, this particular, let's say, size. And we should just validate this by looking at the size of this. It should be 0 at the end of the pipeline if we do not have any failures. Bro, I'm really excited to run this pipeline, and I know you have gained so much of experience and knowledge of so many activities within one solution, and you know how to integrate those, right? So let me click on validate now. No errors. Let me click on save. Okay, let me save my work first. Let me now hit run button. Fingers crossed. By the way, no need to worry, bro, you are my data fam. Errors help you learn better. Errors help you grow. Trust me. Okay, so now one activity is fine. Woohoo! Get Azure. Obviously, it has just provided us all the child items. Okay. Now it is performing copy activity on 4 files in parallel because we selected parallel, not sequential. It is a quick knowledge check for you as well. Okay, so it is performing copy activity. One failed. Whoa! Whoa! Why? Oh, because of bad data. Okay, no need to worry. We know the reason for that one because we didn't select the logging section. That is done. By the way, that is good thing. It failed. By the way, it is good thing because now we will just save that information in the logs. Because see, in the real world, I put the files. I don't know what's inside this. So this is the actual test. Very good. I'm happy. I'm happy that it failed. Two activities failed. I am happy. I'm really happy. So as you can see, as like I am so happy that two pipelines failed. Okay, the reason is simple. See, I can just show you the reason. Reason is simple. Bad data is found. Bad data is found. We have bad data. We do not need to worry about bad data because we are not the owner of the data. We are just receiving the data, right? Okay, that's why we have. So Ansh, well done, man. I'm so happy that I have included this particular step. Failed. This was, trust me, this was not planned. This was not planned. I was just designing the solution and I was like, I should just tell you the most efficient solution for this particular pipeline, and it actually worked. Let me show you. Wait. Now at the end of this pipeline, what your manager will get, he will get, let me just check the output of this. Append copied files. Append copied files. Okay, let me just show you. Let me just show you. Let me just show you. Okay, so first of all, I need to connect this string with the completion not on success, because as you know that our pipelines can be failed sometimes. See, failed. So we need to just connect this string with the completion not on success. So that is just a small, you can say, silly mistake. Not a mistake, because obviously you are not expecting that it will fail. So okay, let me just rerun it. I can show you the output here as well, but I want to show you the exact output. Okay, let me just rerun it. I want to just see them failing again. Obviously they will fail because they have like bad data. Okay, that is so good, man. That is so good. Okay, so let me just show you. Because I want to know how many files failed, how many files copied, And obviously we can just see like how many files, like what were the file names, everything is there in the logs, everything is there. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. That's how you deal with bad data, bro. That's how you deal with bad data. So obviously now when you will get emails, hey, 2 files failed, so you will go to the monitor tab, you will see the logs, you will make the changes in your pipeline, or you will just contact the data owner and you will tell the person, hey, your 2 files have corrupted data, just correct that data. Then you will just rerun the data pipelines. You are a data engineer, you need to just deal with the errors, bro. Now this is the validation step. How many files should we see here? The answer is 2. Let me just see. Boom, man. Very good. 2 files failed. Okay. And copied file size, it should be 2. Boom. It is 2. So we have successfully built the solution and we can just provide this information to the email as I just showed you. Okay. So how was the solution, man? How was the solution? This was not planned. I'm really happy that 2 pipelines failed, because obviously, bro, then only you can just test this one, right? I'm so happy. Okay, sometimes data engineers feel happy after seeing failures. It's not like failures are always bad. No, failures are not always bad. See, everything is fine, and we know that these things are done. By the way, if you want to see the output of this one, you will see this one, like append failed files. You will see the input of this. See, this is the file that was failed. Variable name is failed files, and Netflix cast.csv failed. Maybe they have like some corrupted data. Obviously we can save that information here as well. Let me just show you. If you want to enhance the solution furthermore, if you just want to save the, let's say, um, file names, it can happen, right? Let's say you want to just provide the file names as well in the email, you can do it. It's very simple. Simply create 2 more variables, and I will simply say copied names, and it will be string, and it will be failed names. Okay, then simply create 2 more activities for set variable. Okay, okay, then join this activity with this one, and this will be my copy data. So I will name it as copied names. Okay, very good. Settings will be what I will do, I will simply save the data which is copied file size, not copied file size, copied files, because I want to save all the value of this one. Okay, so copied names, and value will be copied. By the way, if you cannot see the variables here, just click on these 3 dots. It is hidden because I do not have like much big screen. Okay, so variables, and copied files is my variable name that I want to save. Similarly with failed ones. So bring the failed ones, bring the set variable for this. Okay, then simply connect this. Okay, then obviously I will simply say failed names, settings, failed names. Perfect. What will the value? Value will be failed files. Value will be failed files. Where are failed files? Here. Perfect, man. Perfect. This is your end-to-end solution, and this is my end-to-end solution. And now you can even log the information for the files that were failed. So now you would know the file names as well. This is like one step ahead for the planning. So okay, let me just run it. Let me just click on run, save and run. And now you will see the failed file names as well. This is so good, man. So good. So good. By the way, you can configure different emails as well. Let's say you want to create one email in which you will be having successful file names and failed file names, or if you want to just create 2 different Outlook emails, like one for success, one for failure. So let's say for success you will just ignore because you know that okay, they were just processed, but for failed ones you will just focus on it and you will just deal with it like with more care, I would say. So that all depends upon the solution. But now you know, I think I have covered almost all the major activities that you use in day-to-day activities, and I would say these are your activities that you would use 90% of the time. Okay, for building Fabric Data Factory solutions. There are some data transformation activities that you will be learning right now. Don't worry, this is not the end. This is not the end. This is not the end. By the way, why it failed, bro? Why it failed? Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Let me check. Why it failed? Type string cannot be initialized or updated with a value of type. Oh, I see. I see. I see. So what we need to do? So the thing is, the array is, it is saying you are trying to save the value of an array into a string. How you can do that? I will say, bro, I can do that. How? I will simply use a function called string, and I will convert this array into string. Simple. So we have workarounds for everything. Just use string. Now just rerun it. Bro, you are landed on this channel. You will learn everything, bro, everything. We do not deal with simple solutions. No, we feel happy when we see errors. Why? Because Ansh Lama will tell something new to deal with the errors. And that's how we grow, right? Yep. Good, 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 good. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, yeah, I was saying that this is not the end, bro. This is not the end. We're gonna learn some more data transformation activities, but before that we need to learn how to transform the data, because only then we can just use data transformation activities to orchestrate them. Okay, so I will just tell you all the things: data flow gen 1, data flow gen 2, notebooks, everything. And then at the end, I know I need to show you how to deploy the objects. Okay, this time it ran successfully. I am really excited to see this array value. Failed names. I want to see, hey, what were the files that were failed? Click on output. These are the file names. These are the file names. Netflix titles, Netflix cast. Simple. These are the failed names or failed file names. And these are the copied names that copied successfully. Very good, man. Very good. You can just send this notification, send this information in your email using using that 365 account, or you can even use Teams account. Okay, let me show you. Let's say you do not want to send an email, you just want to send a message to Teams chat, and one group is dedicatedly built for failures, so you can just send that information to failures, and for success you can just send that information in the normal chat group. Okay, so simply go to home, activities, click on these three dots and just pull the Teams chat. Okay, see, so this way you can just connect it maybe to different channels like this, and okay, like to the different channels, or you can just connect it with one as well. So it's all up to you how you want to deal, and obviously you need to log in to your Teams account. Okay, sign in. You can just play with it and you can just do it on your own. And yeah. So how was it? How was it? How was it? Did you like it? Did you like the solution? And as we have already talked about uh, the monitor tab here, everything. So okay, let me just remove this. Let me just remove this. So what we will be doing, that's not the end. Let me first save it. So this is our pipeline number one. Like pipeline number two, we have pipeline number one as well. So let me just create the end-to-end flow. End-to-end flow. Let's do it. So let's go to the workspace. Okay. Let me click on plus new item and let me just create a new data pipeline. And this time I will simply say parent pipeline. Parent pipeline. Click on create. Okay, so it will just create the parent pipeline for me. Click the blank canvas, pick any activity. This time I will simply pick invoke pipeline. So what it will do, invoke pipeline activity is an activity in which we can call the whole data pipeline. Whole data pipeline. Let me just show you. So I will simply say get data, because this is my pipeline number one. Okay, go to settings. Okay, go to settings. It is asking what type of pipeline you want to run, Fabric, ADF or Synapse. I would simply pick Fabric. And it is saying currently pipeline return value is not supported with ADF and Synapse pipelines. To fetch pipelines, don't worry, bro, we are not fetching any pipeline return value. So connection will be obviously this one, no result found. So we can create a new connection with our Fabric data pipelines. Okay, simply click on this one, new connection, Fabric data pipeline. You are not signed in. What? Really? Really? Let me just click on this. Yeah, now it is connected. Okay, So as you can see, I'm connected. So now I can just pick any pipeline. I can pick get data. Perfect. And it is saying, hey, you have some parameters. I will say, yeah, I have parameters here, as you can see. So there are two ways to feed the parameters now. And this is really, really important. So how we can just feed the parameters? How? So this is my parameters. Okay. And this is the value. By the way, by the way, it is not necessary to provide the parameters every time, because if we have some default value, it will automatically pick that. But if we do not have any default value, it will not pick it. So how we can just provide the default value here using this option? We can simply say value as, let's say, yes. Okay, one way is this. The best way is create the parameter in the parent pipeline and then feed that parameter into the child pipeline. This is the best way. Okay, I will simply create a new pipeline. Okay, and I'll simply say run flag. Okay, and then I will simply say yes, default value. Then I will provide this information. Click on dynamic content, run flag. Perfect. This is the best way to do it. Okay, this is the best way to do it. Very, very, very good. Okay, then I will simply copy this, and this time I will pick general, go to settings, pick Azure data. Okay, perfect. Let me say refresh. Why it is not refreshing, bro? Let me just delete it. Let me just create another invoke pipeline. Okay, this is my Azure data pipeline. Azure data, go to settings, pick Azure data. Okay, in this pipeline we know that we do not have any parameters, because we didn't create any parameter, we just created variables. So this is fine. Now we can just orchestrate it. So what it will do, it will first run this get data pipeline, then it will run this pipeline. So this is a kind of parent pipeline which is running the pipelines within pipelines. Okay, and there'll be one more pipeline, one more parent pipeline, in which we will be just transforming our data using notebook, using data flow gen 2, data flow gen 1. So I will just talk about it as well, like in, yeah, yeah, let's talk about it as well. Okay, because that will just give you the end-to-end understanding of everything inside Fabric Data Factory. Let's talk about it next, and then I will just make, like, then I will just complete this end-to-end flow, because only then we'll be having all the pipelines ready, right? Let me save it. So far, like, let's say connection data is required. Which connection data, bro? Azure data. Okay, which, oh, connection, this one. Okay, let me just say activated. Let me just say save. Okay, perfect, done. Let me just save it. Now our pipeline is ready. I know we need to complete it. We will complete it at the end, because we need to include more and more activities and more pipelines. Simply go to your workspace, and now let's create our first data flow, because now we want to learn about data flows. And data flows, let me just first create it, and then I will just explain you why it is used and why we need to do it. First of all, let's deal with data flow gen 1. This is old way of transforming data, but still, if you have some solutions built in, let's say Synapse or Azure Data Factory, where you're just using data flow gen 1, it is required to have that knowledge. Only then you will be feeling aligned with the solution. We will not discuss about it in detail because it is outdated, so still we will just talk about it. Okay, click on this, and it is saying want to create data flow gen 2 instead. It is also recommending, bro, why you are creating data flow gen 1. So it is saying data flow gen 2 significantly enhances data ingestion, blah, 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 because obviously we know that data flow gen 1 is outdated. So I think you should also know that we do not need to worry about data flow gen 1 now. So let's create a data flow gen 2, and do not show this again. Always create, no, just create just data flow gen 2, because that makes sense. That makes sense. Data flow gen 1 is outdated. Okay, there's no sense of using data flow gen 1 when Fabric itself is recommending. So that makes sense, right? Just click on create data flow gen 2. That makes sense. Let's create a data flow gen 2, and what will be the name of it? Let's say transform data. Transform data. Yeah, simple. Click on create. Okay, so it will create a data flow gen 2 for you, and this will just pop up a window. Now you will say, hey Ansh Lamba, why it is so much familiar to Power Query? Because it is that same thing. Really? Yep, this is the same thing. So you can say data flows gen 2 is the Power Query online which is integrated with Fabric. So now you can just transform your data with low no code. Obviously, we can just transform our data using notebooks. Don't worry, I will just show you that part as well. But obviously, when you do not want to perform like complex transformations, you just want to perform like normal transformations, transforming columns, you can easily use, bro, Power Query Editor, Power Query Online, or it is also called as Dataflow Gen 2. So basically, Dataflow Gen 2 is nothing but your data transformation buddy that will just transform the data for you in low no code manner. In low no code manner. Okay. You do not need to write the code, you do not need to worry about anything, and it will actually perform like great transformations, crazy transformations using low no code. Trust me. And you will actually feel that you are using Dataflow Gen 1. Really? How? Because it enables something called as diagram view. I will just show you everything. Wait. So you can use diagram view to actually see the flows, like how it is creating everything, how it is transforming the data, and how it is just writing the data. Yes, you can add a destination as well with your Dataflow Gen 2. So it behaves actually same as Dataflow Gen 1. Why we need to use Dataflow Gen 2? Because it is much more easier to use as compared to Dataflow Gen 1. Yes, because Dataflow Gen 1 uses Spark. So you should have some Spark knowledge when you are just building Dataflow Gen 1. But with Dataflow Gen 2, everything is sorted, bro. Everything is sorted. So without wasting any time, let me just get the data. First of all, let me just explain you what we have in this particular, let's say, page, because obviously most of you would not be familiar with Dataflow Gen 2 or let's say Power Query Online. This can happen, bro. So this is the main ribbon where we have everything. And the most important thing is this one, which is called Get Data. So you can just click on it and you will see countless connectors, bro, countless connectors. Yes, I will show you, don't worry. Then we have, this is called Enter Data. When you just need to create your own data using the tables, you can just do that. Then what is this? Manage connections. When you're just using so many sources, you can just configure the connections of those sources. What is this one? This is default data destination. You can provide the default destination, data destination to your queries. Okay. Then manage parameters, and this is options, and these are all grayed out because we do not have any data right now. When we will be just getting the data and bringing the data to this canvas, we can just perform almost everything. Okay. So now finally, let me just get the data. Click on this, click on more. Then you will see, let me just click on view more. You will be surprised, bro. Just look at the connectors. Just look at the connectors. They have provided all the connectors. You can pull data from anywhere, bro, anywhere. But in our case, what will be the data source? In our scenario, obviously it will be data lakehouse, because we have already pulled data using copy activities. So now we are storing that data in the data lakehouse. Now a quick question will be, hey Ansh, can we perform ETL with Dataflow Gen 2? The answer is yes. Then why we need to perform copy activity or data pipelines? So the answer is, you can only perform ETL, you cannot perform ELT with Dataflow Gen 2. So if you're just working with big data, you cannot use Dataflow Gen 2. It is not effective enough. In that particular scenario, you have to use copy activity, and in that scenario, you have to use data pipelines. Okay, sorted. Do not feel like, hey, should we use this? Should we use that, bro? You should know everything, and you should use the objects, the things according to the solutions, according to the designs of the architecture of these solutions. Everything should be there, bro. Anything can come up in the requirements. Okay, it is not like, hey, if we can just okay, wait, I just get so many comments. Hey, we can just, let's say I'm just building a project. Okay, so they will say, hey, we can just use Azure Databricks to perform everything. Why we are using Azure Data Factory? Why you are using Synapse Analytics? Bro, I'm just telling you how to integrate the services, because in the projects you can be asked to perform anything. I'm just helping you out. You're saying, hey, why you're just using this? Why you're not just performing everything using Databricks? Bro, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay. Now let me just pick the data lakehouse. Click on one lake. Okay. Click on one lake. Now these are all the one lakes. We will simply pick Fabric DF Bronze, click on it, and it is now connecting to Fabric Data Factory Bronze. See, it is connecting to it. Then we will be able to see all the things. See, do not worry about these things. Click on files, drop down. Then I can just pick any file. Let's say I want to pick raw get data. Okay, in this we have raw data.csv. Okay, just select this and then just click create, and it will just create your data flow gen 2 on top of this particular file. As you can see, column 1 and column 2, but we want to make it as header. Bro, hold on, we are just entered into data flow gen 2. We'll do lots of things, just hold on. So this is your data flow gen 2. Okay, and this is your data which is officially entered into data flow gen 2 area. Now you can perform anything on top of this data. Anything means anything, and everything will be performed with the help of low no code. And you can also see everything with the flow. Really, yeah, everything with the flow, everything. Okay, Ansh Lamba, just show us. First of all, as per your request, you want to create first line as header. Obviously, because in the CSV file we do not provide any schema, so it by default picks the first row or first record as header. So what we will do, we will simply go here, maybe this one. So yeah, first row as header. Just click on this first row as header. So I just clicked on this. Okay, I didn't write any code. It automatically created my first row as header. Let me just increase the size. Okay, or let me just decrease a little bit. Yeah, that is fine. So everything will be done without using any code. So this was just the basic transformation. Okay, let's perform some critical ones, not critical ones, like the basic ones. Okay, so this is the director. Let's say I want to create two more column names, or let's say two more columns with director first name and director last name. Okay, can we do that? Yes, we can do that. So I will simply click on this and I will simply say add column. Okay, then it will say, hey, do you want to perform custom column? What exactly you want to do? I will simply go to home. Okay, and I'll simply go to yeah, home. Then I can simply select this column, and then you need to just find one icon related to split, because we need to split the column. So just search here, just hover over the things. I think this should be the one because it looks like split. Okay, so just click on this. Then you will say then you will see lots of options how you want to split your column. How you want to split your column. So it is saying by delimiter, by number of character, by positions, like by so many things. I would say by delimiter. Simply click on it. So it will say what will be the delimiter. Basically, I will pick advanced. Why? I will tell you. So the separator will be obviously not comma, it will be space, because I have like first name, then space, then last name. Then split into columns, obviously. Number of columns to split into 4. Why 4? Because in some cases, in some names, we have names such as C, Anthony, Bordeaux, Jacket, then Tom, O'Brien. So we can have like multiple names. See, in this scenario, we have 3 names, like first name, middle name, last name, but we do not need to worry about this thing. We just need to split our column into 2 columns, first name, and treat everything as last name. Make sense? I will simply say number of columns split into 2. Quote character, like if we have any code character, we can just use this thing like single quotes or double quotes, it is fine. Then simply say okay. And separator, split at leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, or each occurrence of the delimiter. We will simply say leftmost delimiter. Why? Because if we have space towards left, that's it. Because if we have space after, let's say, left, like here, we do not need to consider this space as our delimiter. Okay, then code character, we don't need to worry about this. Click on OK, then just wait for the results, and let's see perfect results that I was looking for. Director 1, director 2. Simple. Very good, very good, very good. So I can obviously rename it. I can simply say directors or director first name. Okay, and this will be director last name. I don't know if you are feeling the vibe, because If you would be performing these transformations using code, this will not be an easy task. Even if you would be performing these things using Dataflow Gen 1, this would not be an easy task. But here, you are just clicking on the things, typing it, and everything is done. So how you can just actually see the lineage? How? This is the lineage. See, all these steps are being recorded here. These are the applied steps. Ansh Lamba, you said that we can also visualize the data as we see in Dataflow Gen 1. Yes. How? You can just use two options. Either click on view or click on this toggle button here, diagram view. I know I'm sitting here, so click on view and then you will see diagram view. Click on it. This is your diagram view. This is your Dataflow Gen 1 looks like. See, in Dataflow Gen 1, we just make streams one after another, and these are all the transformations. Similarly, this is your query 1, and these are all the transformations that you have performed on top of your data. And I personally love this view. I personally love this view. So what I prefer doing it, if I just want to perform more things, I can simply, let's say, select the column or let's say anything. And then I can just perform plus sign. And then I can just pick any transformation the same way we pick in Dataflow Gen 1. So if you want to feel the vibe of Dataflow Gen 1, this is the interface for you. This is the interface for you. If you feel more comfortable with the user interface, more aligned towards Power Query Editor, you can simply close this, like click on diagram view for one more time. Then this is your interface. Open the query settings. That's it. It's up to you. It's up to you how you need to go. It's up to you. So now let's perform few more transformations. Few more transformations. Let's say 4 to 5 more transformations like generic transformations. Then I will also orchestrate this task because then we will be just using notebook as well, right? Let's do that. So one transformation is done. We have successfully splitted this column into two columns. Okay. Then let's say I want to convert this show ID into string. Let's say, because I know like show ID should not be integer because we are not aggregating this value. So we can just convert it into string. Okay. So what I can do, I will simply click on transform and I just need to search for the column which should say something related to cast. Okay. I think this should be the one. No, this should be the one. Yes. Click on this drop down and just pick as text. Click on it. Now your show ID column is converted into text in just one click. Wow, man. Wow. Let's say I want to provide the row number to all the rows here. Let's say I want to provide this column. So I will simply click on add column and then I will simply pick this index column. I want to provide the index. Click on drop down from 0 or from 1. I want to provide from 1. Click on this. Your index is ready, which is a unique identifier for each record. Simple, which is also similar to row number function, which is a window function. Okay, row number. Simple. You can perform window functions like this in query editor and you do not need to worry about the code, bro. You do not need to worry about the code. So let's say you want to perform some transformations. Okay, what transformations? Let's say you want to perform some transformation based on director's first name. So what you will do, select this and then you will simply say uh, this is index column. Where is aggregate function? I think this one. Yeah, statistics. Let's say you want to count the values. Let's say, okay, let's say you want to count the values or you want to perform group by. So this is the also tab by group by. So click on this group by. So it is saying you want to perform group by on director's first name. Yes. What you want to find? I want to find count of rows. Okay, count of rows. Exactly, because I want to see how many movies are done by each director. Okay, so simply click on OK. It will perform group by on top of the data for me without any code. See, Richard has performed or let's say created 24 movies. Daniel has created 31 movies. Tom has created 17 movies. So like this, you can perform all the transformation without any kind of transformation. Now you want to sort this data, you can obviously sort this data. So where is the transformation for sort? Where is sort? Where is that, bro? I think it should be here. Keep rows, remove rows. Yeah, I think this is the sort. Lowest to highest. I will simply pick sort highest to lowest. Perfect. So David, David has done 88 movies. Wow. John has done 75 movies, Michael has done 73 movies, Robert has done 40 movies. So this way you can just perform sorting without any kind of code. So this is the way you can perform so much. Like you can just play with it, you can just perform more and more transformations. Let's say you want to filter your data. You just want to filter the rows which are, let's say, greater than or equals to let's say 10. I just want to fetch those directors which has which have done, like, let's say more than 10 movies or equal to 10 movies. Okay, and or what is this? And or not, and or we are just fine with this one condition. Click on OK. So now I will only see those directors which have done more than or equals to 10 movies. See, now I just have 66 records. That's it. That's it. Okay, there are like so many things that you can play with. I play with it, and I'm just showing you the basic things that you will be performing on a daily basis, because it is all about creativity. It's all about requirements that we have to transform our data. Obviously this is like almost clean data, but still I'm trying my best to explain you all the stuff that I can. And this is not the difficult thing, this is like very basic thing, right? And then we have, yeah, almost done. Then transform, all the things are done. I think I have already told you about split. Yeah, so you can perform so many things here. Now I will tell you the most important stuff, which is this one. So after performing everything, let me just show you the diagram view. So let's say this is your whole flow. Okay, this is your whole flow. Now after this is your source, and you have performed so many transformations, and at the end you want to write this data. Obviously that is called ETL, extract, transform and load. So now how you can just add the destination to your data flow gen 2? There are two ways. Either you can just go to home and then add the destination, or the best way is clicking on this add destination. Click on this, and what will be the destination? I will pick Lakehouse. Okay, it is saying connection. This one I will say create a new connection. Create a new connection. Okay, then data gateway none. Okay, next, then it will simply create a new connection. You cannot create more than one connection to same data cloud. Okay, that makes sense. Lakehouse. Okay, then create next. Just pick the recent Lakehouse. Then it is saying, do you want to create a table, a new table, or you want to create an existing, like if you just want to insert the data to an existing table. Obviously we do not have any table so far. So what we will do, we will simply say, hey, you can just create a new table, and my table will be called as raw data. Raw data, that's it, raw data. And obviously in which workspace I need to create it. This is my workspace, and this is my your Lakehouse. Okay, this one. And then I can simply say next. Okay, so this is just showing me the mapping. I will say save settings. Perfect, data flow is saved. Now I have two options. I can either publish, so you can just click on publish button. Then you will see this particular data flow in your workspace. See, it is creating this data flow. It is not ready yet. It will take, I think, few seconds. Once it is ready, you will not see this buffer sign rotating. And now you will say, hey Ansh Lamba, how we can just run this? How we can just run this? Okay, let me just tell you how you can just run this. Basically there are two ways. Till the time it is created, I can just tell you. So there are basically two ways, like you can just run this particular data flow. Either you can manually run this, or you can orchestrate it. Obviously in the real world scenarios in the industry, we just orchestrate the data flows, we do not run it manually. But still I will just tell you how you can just run manually. Simply hover over this, then you will see a refresh button. If you just click on refresh now, it will run it. Obviously bro, refreshing a data flow means you are just running that flow. Or if you do not want to manually run this, you can include this activity in your pipeline. And that is the thing we are going to see right now. So I will simply go to, let's say, my data workshop, then create a new data pipeline. Okay, I will simply say data flow, yeah, simple data flow. Click on create. Okay, then what I will do, create a pipeline. Obviously this time I will pick data flow activity. Okay, then I will simply name it as data flow. Okay, then in the settings I will pick my data flow. I just have one data flow, so it is just showing me one data flow. click on transform data. That's it. That's it. Now, whenever you will be running this pipeline, this data flow will be running automatically. And you know what we're gonna do now? We will simply save it, or let's say let's run it. Let's run it first because I want to show you that table created with the help of this data flow. Then we can just add this pipeline into our parent pipeline. Okay, very good. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. So it is just running this data flow. I think it should take at least, I think, 1 to 2 minutes. I think so. Because it is just transforming your data and performing all the transformations. And then only it is just writing the data for you. So I think it should just take at least near to 1 minute. But yeah, let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. In progress, in progress, in progress. 50 seconds are over. 1 minute is over. Yeah, let's say 2 minutes. Yeah, because obviously it is just oh, see, my bet was right. I told you it should just take near to 1 minute. Whoa, Ansh Lamba. Okay, so 1 minute is done and your data flow is ready. I am really excited to see the data. Click on your Lakehouse Explorer, refresh it. So as you can see that we have raw data table ready in the table section. And if you just click on these three dots, I will just show you something. So click on properties. You will see that it is a managed table, obviously, because we have data and table both existing here. And the files, just click on view files. You will see the file, it is in the CSV format. Not really, because when you just create any kind of table directly in the table zone, it will just convert your file in the delta format, which is your packet plus delta log. Okay, so our data flow pipeline is also done. Everything is done. Let me just close this. Okay, let me just close this. Let me just go back to the Lakehouse Explorer. So now let's go to our workspace. So now we have seen data transformation capabilities with low no code. Now you will say, hey Anshlamba, one activity is still missing. I know, I know. And you cannot ignore that. No, it is called notebooks. Okay, so now I will show you how you can use notebooks integrated with Data Factory, and we will just create a quick notebook. Don't worry, I will not be just showing you the code and all. I will just create a basic notebook, and then you can easily integrate it with the Data Factory. Let's see how we can just do that. So click on new item. Okay, and this time you'll be creating a notebook. This one, click on it, and this will be your notebook. Wow, 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 wow. So this is your notebook. Skip tour. Okay, so now if you are unaware of any kind of notebook in Fabric, so let me just tell you, if you have ever used notebook with Jupyter or let's say Databricks, everything is same, nothing fancy. Okay, so now what we need to do, we are first of all not learning notebooks about notebooks. If you want to learn about everything in the notebooks around data engineering, you already know the spot. Let me just show you for one more time. Just go to YouTube and just search on Shlamba, and then you will just land on this video, which is this one, Fabric Data Engineering. This video has covered all the things related to Spark, notebooks, Lakehouse, everything in detail, everything in detail. So you can definitely check out this video, Fabric Data Engineer, and you will know everything. So now the motive of this particular session is just understanding how we can integrate notebooks with Data Factory. Okay, so first of all, I will just select the data source and I will connect my Lakehouse, and I will connect Lakehouse without schema because we have not created the schema. If you remember, click on add, then add this to your workspace. So now these are all the things. So first of all, what I will do, instead of writing any code, Fabric provides us the capabilities to write the code for us. Yes, I'm not correct. So let's say I want to read this data, this one. So I can simply click on these three dots. Okay, or let's say click on this folder, then click on these three dots and you will see load data. You have both the options, Spark or Pandas. So we are just using Spark. Okay. So here it is the code for you. It has successfully written the code for us. We do not need to worry about anything. So now how we can just execute this code? How? For that, we need to attach a cluster to it. So you can see the connect button, click on it and just select new standard session. So it will just start the session, let's say initiate the cluster within just few seconds. And that is the power of Spark starter pools. Okay, we have basically two kinds of pools, starter pool and custom Spark pool. So this is done, see, in 7 seconds. Now I will simply run this. Okay. Okay. So this I'm just going to create a very basic notebook. Okay, very basic notebook. This is my data frame. I have read this data frame. Okay, now let's say I want to perform transformation that we performed earlier as well. Okay, let's say I want to split the column into two different columns. Okay, director's first name, director last name. I will just show you like how then you can just relate. Okay, like how difficult it is to perform the things in code, like when you write the code. Not difficult if you know the things, it is not difficult. But yeah, if you do not know the code, it is really difficult. So what I can do, I can simply write the code for it. Just follow me along with it. So df dot with column. Again, if you want to know about these functions all, just watch that video. That is purely on data engineering in Fabric, Notebook, Spark, everything, PySpark, everything. So just copy my code. That's it. Director first name. Yeah. Then we need to define the transformation. We will simply use split. And for that, we need to import the libraries. So I will simply say from PySpark.sql.functions import asterisk. Let me run this. Perfect. So split. Then we are just performing split on top of function column called director. Okay. And what is our delimiter? Delimiter is space. Perfect. And then after converting it, we just want to fetch the 0th element. Okay. Let's do it and just say df on display df. Okay. See, it has created a new column with only first name. So that's how you just write the code in PySpark. So this is the code. And if you just want to understand the code, you can simply click on the video that I just showed you. Okay. So let's say our notebook is done. Let's say these are all the requirements that we need to do in the notebook. That can happen, right? We just need to perform just 2 to 3 transformation. Now I want to write this data to this particular table location. Okay. Obviously I will just use a different name. So how I can just do that? I can use something called as writer API available in Spark. So here I will simply write df.write.format. And now I will just write the format in CSV format. Why? Because I want to show you that in the tables area, we can even store tables in the CSV format as well. It's not about like we can only save the tables in the delta format. No. Then I'll simply say dot mode, and mode will be append. Then I can simply say dot save as table. Again, if you want to learn about everything like these scenarios, these functions, this code, check that video out, bro. So save as table, I will simply create the manage table, which will be like Lakehouse name dot table name. So fabric df bronze dot raw data spark. Let me just create this table. And obviously it will just create the table right now, but don't worry, I will just tell you how you can integrate this notebook within your Fabric Data Factory, because I know that we need to just do a lot of stuff. By the way, I just recorded this session and I'm just re-recording it because my mic was dead and no audio was there. I was like, what? So no worries, I can do whatever I can for my data fam. So love you a lot. So it is done. Let me just refresh this. Okay, so now you can see this table. Let me just take you to the Lakehouse Explorer. I just want to show you something else. Simply refresh. So you will see a little difference. What's that? So there's a small triangle in the raw data, but not in here. Why? Because this is a CSV table, not a delta table. Let me just click on these three files, click on view files. Then you will see files are in the .csv format. So this is the only difference. And now this is a managed CSV table. Sorted. sorted. So now what I will be doing, so what I will doing, I will simply go to parent pipeline. Okay. Before going to parent pipeline, I will simply go to my, so I will simply select data flow pipeline. And now you can see that we just have one activity within this. So what we will do, we will create another activity, which is called notebook activity. Simply go to activities and just search the notebook activity, this one. So I will simply say notebook, and this will be my notebook activity, which will actually run my code. But obviously we need to configure it. So notebook will be notebook one. We know that this is the base parameter. We do not have any kind of parameters, so we are good. Okay, that's it. That's it, man. That's it. So simply click on home and save. Okay. Then obviously you can run it if you want, but I know this will run fine. Then now the last step, I will simply go to parent pipeline, and we know that we just have two pipelines so far, just two pipelines. So now it's time to actually complete this pipeline. So I will simply bring invoke pipeline activity, and I will simply rename it, and I will simply say transform data. Okay. And within this, I will insert this pipeline, which is called data flow. Make sense? Because we are transforming data after this. And this is our end-to-end pipeline that we have created today. Finally. So this is the parent pipeline in which we have three different pipelines, which is called like children pipelines. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And now is the best thing. You can even, let's say, want to connect your email after this, because obviously you should always connect your email notification at the end of the parent pipeline instead of connecting it to the children pipelines. And you already know how to do that. Okay, so let me just remove this. So now the thing is, obviously, first of all, let me just save it. Now the thing is, I do not want to run this parent pipeline manually. No, I don't want to do that. No. So what I can do, instead of just running this pipeline manually, let's say I want to run this pipeline daily at a given time frame. Okay. So we have something called as triggers, and we will be using schedule trigger for it. So let me just click on it. So this is the area where you can actually create your trigger. Okay. So by default, I think it was off. So I just clicked on. So yeah. So now let me just click on. So now if you want to repeat this pipeline by the minute, then you can simply pick by the minute. If you want to repeat it by hour, so you can just pick hourly. Let me just pick daily. Okay. So what is the time frame you want to run in a day? So let me just say at 8 a.m. or let's say at 8:30 a.m. I want to run this pipeline on a daily basis. So it will run my parent pipeline daily at 8:30 a.m. That's it. Then this is my start date, like from which date I want to start. I want to start it, let's say by today, so that tomorrow, Monday morning, will be running this pipeline. So I can simply pick second, simple, and the end date. End date, I want to, let's say, keep it for next month. Okay, let's do it. And if I just click on apply, so this pipeline is scheduled. Let me just click on close. So every day your pipeline will be running at 8 a.m. automatically without any human intervention. And obviously, if you have something called as email notifications, you can obviously keep a track of all the failures. And obviously you can just go to monitor tab. Where it is monitor tab. Yeah, click on home, and then you will see monitor tab here. So this is the monitor tab. You can simply go there, and if you see any suspicious activities, anything that is not familiar to you, you can obviously try and debug it. So this is the end-to-end pipeline that we have created today, and I know that you have learned a lot of things in the world of Fabric Data Factory, and you have built such a great solution. First of all, congratulations. Now, as I promised in the beginning of this video, we will be deploying this whole development in different environments. So let's create a new environment. So Anshlamba, you said that we will not be using Azure DevOps. Yes, we will not be using Azure DevOps. So what we will be using? Okay, let me show you. Click on these three dots. Then you will see something called as deployment pipeline. So this is the tool that we use to deploy our objects to different environments, and it is such a great opportunity for you to just learn DevOps without actually learning DevOps, right? So for this, first of all, obviously I will remove this, okay, and then I will just simply click on save. Let's save the stuff. Okay, so now click on workspaces. Now let's create a new workspace, and I will call it as deploy data factory. Deploy data factory. Okay, let's say this is my environment in which I want to deploy my all the objects that we have created today. Obviously we cannot deploy all the objects for now because some of the services are still in preview, but very soon it will be live and you can just deploy all the objects. But for now you can just deploy some of the objects, but that's not a big deal. I'm just showing you how you can deploy it. Okay, makes sense. Okay, very good. So click on workspaces. This is my, oh, I clicked on escape. Okay, deploy fabric, or let's say deploy data factory. Perfect. Very good. Then obviously we do not have any domain. By the way, what is domain? Domain is used to group your workspaces. So let's say you have 10 workspaces for a different domain, let's say business domain. So you can just store all those workspaces inside one domain. Okay. Then click on apply. So it will just create a workspace for you. So now as you can see, my workspace is empty. We do not have anything. That should be the case because you are deploying to this new environment. You should not have anything else. Okay, so how we can do this? Simply click on these three dots. Okay, click on these three dots. Click on deployment pipelines. And then click on new pipeline. Because I already have one pipeline, so we will be creating a new one. So pipeline name will be deploy data factory. Okay, click on next. So this is my development. Obviously, this is my test. This is my production. Okay, so that makes sense. Let me just remove production because we just have two environments. Create and continue. Got it. So now it is saying assign a workspace. Workspace is this one, dev fabric df. Okay, click on tick. So it is assigning all the things, and it is saying that these things are unsupported for now. Obviously data flows are unsupported and SQL endpoints are unsupported, but we do not care about that. We are just concerned about our pipelines. That's it. Then it is saying pick a workspace for it to deploy. So deploy data factory, this is my workspace. Okay, so this is creating this entire flow automatically, and this is saying just move it towards up. So it is saying compare to source. So this is my source. Okay, and they're saying only in source, only in source, only in source. So all these items are only in source. That means we need to insert this, right? So simply select all. Okay, because I want to deploy all the things. It's up to me, like how many objects I want to deploy. I want to deploy all the things. Simply select all from here and click deploy. So click deploy, and then that's it. That's it. Your objects have started deploying. Okay, see, we know that this is unsupported. We already know that this is a SQL endpoint, so do not need to worry. These pipelines are already deployed. No Azure DevOps, no code repository, no artifacts. Like obviously everything is there behind the scenes, but you are not managing anything, right? So now it is saying same as source, 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 same as source. Now let me just show you what exactly happened, bro. Let me just show you. So this is your workspace, this one, which was empty. Let's click on it. See, everything is there, bro. Everything is there. Everything is there. See, everything is there. Everything is deployed so easily, so easily, so easily. By the way, that's not all. That's not the all. That's not all the things that we need to discuss. One more thing. Let's say you changed one data flow. Let's say you just changed one pipeline. Okay. Let's say you just created. You just did something. Let me just say. Yeah, you just inserted one activity. Let's say you inserted one wait activity. Okay. Here. That's it. Obviously, when you click on save, you have made some changes. Now see what happens. Simply go to your deployment pipelines. Okay. Then you will see something. Just move it up, and then let me just refresh. Yeah, this pipeline. Now this pipeline says different from source. That means it has automatically detected the changes that, hey bro, you have made some changes. If you want to make sure that those changes are available in QA, just click on deploy. So just select this particular object, just say deploy, click on deploy. That's it. That's it. Within few seconds, you will see those changes there. See, it has started deploying your changes without any kind of management or nothing. So now everything is synced. So it will be monitoring everything, okay, 24/7. And whenever it will see some changes, it will say, hey bro, these are different from the source. See how powerful it is. See how powerful it is. This is your CI/CD. Now you do not need to run after Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps. Obviously, Azure DevOps will be there. Azure DevOps will be there for the legacy solutions. Azure DevOps will be there, let's say, for other tasks such as project management or let's say other development tasks related to software engineering. But for Azure Data Engineering, bro, deployment pipelines. So this was all about today's Fabric Data Factory course. If you loved it, because I know you loved it, just drop a lovely comment. Okay, just drop a lovely comment in like right now. Just drop a lovely comment on this video and just click on the video coming on the screen because I will see you there and it will help you crack the interviews. Just see you